microphone big.
Now, when you are talking, it should be right there.
Okay.
Disgustingly close. So that's why I do this for you. Because it has to be really close.
Play mix around here?
We do have some. Do you need some? Here, I have this. Would this help you?
Just prepared, that's all.
That's my email.
And we're also on between breaks. We're on YouTube and Facebook
Live.
on
Big time.
live, yeah. So even though so your verbiage doesn't have to be as clean as it does on that we talked about. Can get a little risque during those times because the internet doesn't have the FCC rules. But just to let you know, it's always on. Always on. Yeah. So if I need a break, unless Tom wants to, is telling something that he doesn't want, then he just says, we're on right now. So if I need a break. Well, you want to go to the bathroom? No, I already did. But
No, you mean if you want to say something and you don't want it to be heard,
just tell me.
Just tell us. Because everything is heard, even now.
Okay.
We are live! And actually, we have a pretty darn big audience when it comes to this.
And I'm going to show you what if you want to come on over here.
That's a savings of $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy.
You want to go over here now? So that's the camera that'll be seeing you, and you just stepped out of there. So when you start talking, I bring this up. This is your banner. The number's right? Mm-hmm. So this is your banner. So when you start saying something, I pan over to you, and so that you're on the video. So I just let you know there.
With the headphones, I should be hearing everything.
Yep. And you can take them off during break, unless you like to listen to commercials. But in order to hear, you'll hear Tom and everybody talking here, but we won't hear the callers without the headphones. Why would you list with anyone else? Call 303-300-9660 or visit ColoradoFlatFeeRealty.com. Oh, we got something wrong there. Because you forgot to plug it in. No, somebody took it out. I think they were working on that. Actually, Kentucky's really.
Quality candidates are, and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
You're unique, so why is your mattress one size fits all? Because a custom mattress costs thousands, until now. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to HelixSleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep on. Shipping is free, and you have 100 nights to try it out. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio and get $50 off your order. HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino from Larson Tax Relief. I've been fighting for consumers more than 30 years in all areas of business, except when it comes to the IRS. I refer them to Larson Tax Relief. If you owe back taxes, if it's been years since you filed, these guys are the best. They're smart, they have a fantastic team of experts, and will understand your situation. Their name says it all. Larson Tax Relief. Relief from your tax debt problems.
Tom told you, right, every time you on and off and stuff.
Yeah, don't leave it on over long periods of time.
So if you want to talk on there, you hit on, and then you shut it off. But you don't got to go say something, just like if you're done talking and stuff. You can get a little bit of feedback sometimes.
Or check them out at LarsonTaxRelief.com. That's 844-LARSON. Tax 844-LARSON Tax. Larson Tax Relief is the only tax relief and audit organization I endorse on my referral list at referrallist.com.
There it is.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Martino here. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints, and to make your life a little easier. Let's go to the phones and see what is on your mind, because that's really what dictates what is interesting. You know, whatever people are interested in, whatever is what they say trending, whatever's on your mind, whatever liars, cheats, ripoffs are out there, whatever schemes are out there, we talk about. One of the biggest themes of the summer, contractors taking money and doing little or no work or lousy work or not even showing up. We're talking about out-and-out thievery. Yeah, you get a contractor mostly on Craigslist, mostly. Mostly it's been Craigslist or a friend of a friend of a friend. You don't get them on referral lists. You don't get these bad guys on the referral list at referralist.com. Every other list we have gotten complaints about. Oh, yeah, we get complaints about our list, but you won't get complaints about liars, cheats, and ripoffs of where they take the money and run away. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. So even when it comes to our referral list, of course, we want you to protect yourself. But listen, we have had this recurring theme. People taking money and doing nothing, or doing poor work, or doing shoddy work, or doing part of the job. It's terrible. It's terrible. Every single day we're getting multiple ones. Multiple. We have one right now. Now, Al, by the way, is with us. Vanden Heuvel. He is a master plumber, and he's with Water Choices, Pure Water Choices. And Pure Water Choices does mainly water filtration. We'll talk about that. Is that a popular area in plumbing? Water filtration? If you think about it, when it comes to treating water, I think it's the utmost importance. It's the number one thing. I mean, you know, soft water, hard water, I don't really care. But when it comes to pure water, everyone cares. And I think it's safe to say most people have pure water. I don't know. I think it's safe to say well water, city water. We'll explore that with Al. Because I don't like the guys that go in and scare you and sell you these $10,000 systems, and they show you a vial of stuff that looks like you're going to throw up if you drink it. I mean, it's terrible. They have these scare tactics. I used to go after a guy that would go to these houses. Man, this guy was so nasty. I caught him a few times. He had this water business, and he got so mad at me, he chased me down. I remember it. I have it on video. He grabbed my microphone, smashed it, and anyway, I was following this guy around, and one lie was bigger than the next. So, we'll talk about water filtration, water softening, water conditioning, and the rip-offs that go along with it. But right now, Frank is one of many. He gave a guy money up front, I'm sure, and the guy stopped working. Right, Frank?
Hey, that's right, Tom.
Part of the reason is this. So many people are willing to throw money at contractors right now. He's at the next job where he's getting his money up front, because then he spends the money and can't do the job. So what are your circumstances, Frank? And tell me, where'd you find the guy?
So Tom, we had done some research, and we ended up finding him on Home Advisors. And
yep, that's another one that has a patented algorithm. And what they do, they sell leads. That's what they do. They sell leads. However, they tell you they have a patented algorithm, and you're protected. And so do all the lists. Yeah, I'm getting so tired of it. I don't mind people copying me, but I wish they would do it in a way that would protect people. So what happened? You got this guy from Home Advisor. Now, Home Advisor is not responsible for it, but I mean, are they helping you?
We've not contacted them.
You should.
And had the full dialogue with them.
You really should. You got it from them. They sent that guy to you. Now what happened when he came to you? What happened?
So we outlined, and this is a project my wife and I had been dreaming about doing for the last 5 or 6 years, and we finally put the funds together and made the decision that we were going to activate the plan. And our plan was to upgrade and remodel our master bathroom as well as our guest bathroom, and recarpet the entire second floor.
So you went on this Home Advisor and found, and 3 people probably contacted you, or 2, or somebody, and you hired the guy. But where did it go south? Tell me what happened.
So we made our arrangements, and the project was to begin on the 17th of April and be completed on May 31st. And the way our agreement was structured was we were to pay him a fourth of the total amount of $30,000 in our first installation when we signed off. The second would be a week later, and then at rough-in, the third portion, or the next 25%. And so within 2 weeks' time, we had paid him 75% of the total of $30,000.
And so where's the job right now? Where does it stand?
Right now, it's at a standstill.
Why?
Why? He had failed to pay his subcontractors, Tom. And so his subcontractors, which we had a very good subcontractor that was working on it last, after having a subcontractor that just did incredibly shoddy work, and much of that work had to actually be removed by the second subcontractor. But he failed to pay his subcontractors, and of course they're not going to work if they're not being compensated. So right now the project's at a standstill. I would say the master bathroom, which was the first element of the project, stands at about 50% completed.
All right. Okay, you need to contact Home Advisor, and I want you to tell me what they tell you. Did you, okay. Did you call, what's the last word you got from this guy?
We met with him probably 2.5 weeks or so ago, and he said that he was going to put his plan in place. And Tom, we had been asking for a completion plan probably for the last 5 or 6 weeks, because things just weren't getting done and there was no scheduled timeline for completion. So we asked him and insisted upon that, and he ended up storming out of our home, and that was really the last that we heard of him.
All right. What's the name of the company?
It is GTA Services.
Okay.
And we did learn through the state's, Secretary of State's office, that he had filed for dissolution on June 6th.
Well, you're screwed probably. If you looked at the value you got versus the money you put in, how underwater are you?
Well, we figure about $7,500.
It could have been way worse, right?
Could have been. Yeah, we've got
the work that was done. The work that was done and the materials they're okay.
Yes.
So all you have to do is get somebody to finish, but you're about $7,500 behind.
At least. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to. We will write this down. We'll take your number. I would really like you to call Home Advisor, though, since you got him there, and see what process they have for you. We'll contact the guy. We'll go after the guy. You're not even one of our customers because we do consumer advocacy. But we do have the referral list, and I'm going to humbly ask that you use referrallist.com, because it's the only one that has active enforcement, active secret shopping, active participation by the owner, me. Active. Not passive, active. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care if you think I'm a know-it-all. Who cares? You know what you can't say? You can't say that we dropped the ball when it comes to the referral list. No, I'm going to tell you, there are nuts out there that'll use that as a blackmail thing and think that I'm going to enforce something ridiculous. But I'll tell you this, you're not going to have people, or if it happens, it's going to happen once, and that's it. It's going to happen once, but we'll get wind of it. We'll get wind of problems first, because we personally monitor. Okay? And I don't care what Home Advisor says about their patented algorithm. No one personally oversees that membership personally. No one does. And they can't. They can't. Neither can anyone else. And if they tell you that, they're lying. So call him and call us back. Take his information, Suzanne, Meanwhile, let's try to get a hold of GTA Service. If they file for dissolution, there could be something under the Contractors Trust Act, which is not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Yes, what?
I think we've heard of this guy before when I found out the individual's name. I'm going to look at my records.
What is the individual's name?
Christopher Torres. Does that sound familiar to you, Tom?
Christopher Torres.
This sounds familiar to me, but the company name does not.
The Vincent Torres is the other one from the...
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking, Dan.
Yeah, no, I don't recall this guy, but this sucks yet again. Yet again. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about some good news too, and that is someone you can trust here in the studio. And we're going to talk about that because that has to do with clean water, fresh water, great water, pure water choices. And you know what? That whole area has been overly complicated, and I think people are doing it to make noise. Another great company, One Clear Choice Garage Doors, for all your garage doors needs. I like Chappie and his company. Now, he's a former Marine, and he says he runs his place like the military. I mean, they're clean cut, they're honorable, they're ethical, they're on time, they're punctual, they do great work. Free inspections, if you mention Martino, of your entire garage door system. They want to be your garage door company. They won't lie to you about something, but they'll give you a full report. They'll even tighten up the hinge bolts, lubricate, and make safety adjustments, just for mentioning me. And that is oneclearchoicegaragedoors.com, or if you have a sudden need like a broken spring or something, give them a call. 303-565-6409.
Contractors. Contractors.
There's installed vehicle in the
Talk to me about anything. You come up and say,
what that guy's going to get and answer the question. That's blocking the right lane. Traffic already backed up to about...
You talk to me. You can chime in. I should have told you. Chime in. Okay, and I'll introduce you now. You chime in. Then you can go back and say, by the way, Tom, on that call, yeah, you can say anything you want. Yes, absolutely. That's what I meant. Al, that is exactly...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Al, that is exactly what I meant. I just be part of the show. That's exactly what I meant.
You don't like home advisors?
I used them years ago before they were home advisors. They keep changing their name.
Oh, do they? Yeah, so they know that.
They were like service master.
They're not that cheap either.
But aren't they fucking owned by Amazon or something? Are they?
Ooh, good question. Are they owned by Amazon?
Not yet.
But I could see something like that happening.
Amazon does have their own referral for plumbing.
They do.
Yeah.
So they're getting into every space in the whole universe.
I just don't know how that Whole Foods is going to go.
But how can they?
Well, they can't enforce like you do, like you said. How are they going to?
Absolutely. You've got to be local to do that.
Yeah,
Service Magic?
Yeah, it used to be Service Magic.
Then
before that, it was Wizen.
Never get ahead
as a vendor,
every month. Hi, this is Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing. And probably you're right.
Customer would call.
American Financing can
they would
help
send
by
our
consolidating
customer
your
information out to 3 people, at least 3. Or maybe more. The first one, and they all get charged.
Home's current value. This can allow you to start saving hundreds of thousands or more.
So the company's IAC that owns them.
Lock in your rate now.
The parent
Rates are
company.
expected to increase again before the end of the year. American Financing's mortgage consultants
And I've been a subcontractor
Conversations are simple.
for contractors that went out of business.
There are no upfront fees, and you may be able to skip up to
So
2
kind of know what
mortgage
he's going to
payments.
get.
More savings for you. Call now
Nothing.
before rates go up
Right.
again. We own
He'll get nothing.
Well, he'll get liens.
Oh, no, I meant the guy that goes back because he's got an issue with one of the contractors.
Subcontractor will leave the house.
Financing.net.
No.
That another.
Hey, when it comes to water, what is the best water filtration? Do you sell all of them? Do you sell the multiple stages?
We're going to talk about
osmosis.
We're going to talk about all of
Yeah,
that.
I'm an independent dealer, so I can custom build anything that needs to be built.
Okay, I'll be interested to see what.
I don't mind if you talk to him off the air, but don't. Here's the problem with talking. When you then talk about it with me, don't think I've already heard it. You got to talk as if no one heard anything. I don't mind if you talk behind the scenes, but when we go on the air, The problem is sometimes when we have people in the studio and we talk to them off the air about their stuff, when they go on the air, they pick up where we left off, where they assume we know what we're, and then our audience is left out. But I don't mind talking as long as we don't consider that. But I want to demystify water stuff.
Storm season is here, and that's why you need to call Golden Spike Roofing. If you think
We're not it's a mystery.
We're not for dirty water and dirty air here.
I'm for the Paris Accord.
When your roof needs a fix, 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Wesley had IRS troubles. They told me $143,000. It got really bad.
So Al, you don't have a catchy tune like that, like Golden Spike Roofing? You got a little tune like that, like you water.
I thought of it actually from my water business. I thought of it from a plumbing company, which would be like Jim Dandy.
Well, that was your plumbing company, or you still have it?
I still have it.
Do you have like a little tune?
I don't have that either.
Oh.
But I want to. It's called Jim Dandy. He's Pro Plumbing to the rescue. So
Okay.
Jim Dandy to the
Call
rescue.
Excel Roofing at 303-761-6400.
Sean Hannity.
Don't tell me the media in this country does not have an agenda. Don't tell me that they're fair, balanced, and objective. Because it's a lie.
Hannity. Later today at 1
How many employees do you have?
Denver's Talk Station.
630
KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate, fighting for you. 40 years, recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise exchanges, refunds, and services. I ask that you help spread the word about referralist.com, and I'll tell you why. You know, it's really disheartening. My own fault. I got fat and lazy when I was very young. I did. I started Referral List, and it was so wonderful. The only game in town. It was making money. It's advertising, but I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to do it with accountability, and I mean that sincerely. I mean, people think, oh, yeah, it's advertising. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. However, think about this. You ask Channel 9, Channel 4, ask a radio station, ask anyone, the Denver Post, the big capital J journalists, when they write an article, or Westward, when they write an article, it's alongside ads. They're supporting those ads, whether they like it or not. They're not the owner of the paper. They're not directly benefiting, but when those ads are sold, they get paid out of that ad revenue. So if the ad revenue is for prostitutes or escorts or marijuana, or if it's about rip-off liars and cheaters that I've seen advertising on Channel 9 and on Channel 4 and on other stations, if they're still benefiting from that. Now, they might distance themselves and say, oh, no, we're in the news. No, they're not. They're in the news, and that news department is being supported by whoever is advertising. Now, instead of hiding my head in the sand and lying about that, I embraced it. And I said, if I am going to have sponsors, I am going to control them. And you know what? We may laugh about iHeart being a giant conglomerate and being a giant in the media, but I have never once, ever been pressured, ever, to go easy on someone, to go hard on someone, to take a political stand or a financial stand, ever. So I took my advertising and I said, if I am going to be supported by advertisers, I'm going to make damn well sure that they're great people. So you see, the broadcasters who had criticized me in the past about accepting advertising on my show as a consumer advocate and having a referral list, I say, yeah, I do it, and I am happy to do it, because I am the only one who can control them. There is not one other broadcaster in Denver who has control over their sponsors. Not one. Not one. I approve. I monitor. I have a separate contract with them, separate. And we have a relationship So that's what the referral list means to me. That's what this show means to me. It's the real deal. And I know a lot of people can't understand that because morals have gone away. Honest to God caring has gone away. You have the big giant Amazons and the big giant Angie's List and the big giant people, and you tell me if they care about you. You tell me that. And then you call here and see if we help. You ask the thousands and thousands and thousands of people we've helped. Then ask one of those other lists. Ask the team or the list of Angie or Home Advisor. Ask any of them if they have built a home for someone, rebuilt a car for someone, repossessed cars for people out of liar cheaters' garages, and gone out in the middle of the night to help someone who was ripped off. That is what we do here. Spread the word. 303-713-TALK. Tommy wants to talk about black mold. Again, I want full disclosure, Tommy. I just want you to know that most black mold issues are sadly exaggerated. The danger of mold is sadly exaggerated. It's been with us for centuries, and I'm not saying it's totally made up and doesn't do harm, but the concentrations and exposure you need for harm is more than just seeing some black on the side of your bathtub. So what's going on?
Thanks for taking my call, Tom. I sent an email, 2 emails into your office. We noticed at the end of June that we had some black mold in the basement. We could tell there was a smell, sore throat.
And where is the black mold?
Along the baseboard, behind the furnace and the hot water heater. In the laundry room.
Is it a slimy black mold growing on the walls?
No, it's real faint. You can see it on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Is it moist down there?
No, but it was at one time. It's adjoining a neighbor. I live in a townhome.
Okay.
The neighbor there was some seeping through the laundry room. They had a busted hot water heater, not flooding.
Okay. Have you done a mold spore count?
Well, we had someone come out from Restoration 1, and this gentleman came out and inspected our property.
And what did he say?
He said that we definitely have some black mold. My neighbor's dragging her feet, but I can...
Well, hold on. So what did you have black mold? What did he say about the black mold? First of all, you're calling a guy who makes his living tearing that stuff out and rebuilding. So if you talk to them, they feel like any black mold is going to be bad, and they're going to recommend thousands and thousands of dollars worth of unnecessary work in general, the industry. So I want to know, what is the actual data? Let's talk about the science, not having black mold, but what's the extent of black mold?
Okay.
Do you know?
Well, he just has set up containment using 6mm poly sheeting on ceiling.
Then what? What does he want to do? What is he proposing to do?
Wants to do? Well, he wants to bring in a HEPA filter. He wants to cut the mold out. He doesn't think he can get to it because the hot water heater's in the way in the furnace, and we might have to get that removed by another company before he can get to it. Yeah. And he says it has to be done on the neighbor's side too. Otherwise,
so how much is he proposing this is going to cost?
$1,600 on his end just to do the work.
Hey, Tommy.
Now, let me bring up, by the way, my guest today. I should have introduced him earlier, Al. Al Vanden Heuvel is a master plumber, has been in town for years, does pure water choices. And Al, first of all, I want to ask quickly about the previous caller. You had something to say about the guy who fired the guy that walked off the job for not paying subs.
Yeah, he hired Angie's List. No, not Angie's List.
No,
Home
Advisor guy came.
When I was a sub for Home Advisor, I did it for like a month, and that was it. I realized what a bad situation it was. So,
well, they send it out to out leads to multiple contractors, and each one has to pay. Yeah. I mean, that's fine with me if you get jobs and people love it. But what I don't like is there's no mechanism for help.
Nothing.
So what happens to this guy? You were very concerned about him.
Well, the homeowner, what's possible to happen to him is he might get liens on his house from subcontractors. So he should be prepared for that. So that's something that's
something I hadn't mentioned to him. But really what we need to do is go after the guy, even if the guy is insolvent and he's going for a bankruptcy, we may be able to get, if he violated the Contractors Trust Act, we may be able to get him on that. Now, on your situation, black mold, the bid is not outrageous. However, I would like to know, why did they do airborne tests? Did they? Is the mold even a problem? And what kind of mold is it? You see, the problem is you can't get true answers when it comes to black mold because you have too many people profiting from the fear. Okay? You have too many people. Do you know that there wasn't one home in my neighborhood where people lived over 100 years old, average, and their cellars were filled with mold? And they made wine down there, and they had, I mean, I just can't tell you why all of a sudden is mold killing people. Why is it? Why is it you see one little strip of mold and we panic? That's because we have people profiting from it. I'm not suggesting you don't do anything, but this guy has not even done a spore test, and he's recommending remediation. How do we know that you can't just get in there and kill it with Clorox? How do we know? I'm not suggesting what he is saying is wrong, but we don't know because he hasn't done the tests. All he said is it's present. He didn't. Does he know what species and what kind it is? He didn't identify it.
And did he check for moisture?
Yeah.
Did he do a moisture check with his tools?
On the walls. We had 2 different people come out, by the way.
And I'll bet you they're both in the business of mediating.
Yeah.
Okay. So you call someone out in the business who makes money mediating this stuff. What do you think they're going to find?
I don't know, but I had to call somebody when the guy...
Yeah, you do. You can call an environmental engineer who is independent and doesn't do repairs. You know, I mean, you can do some mold testing yourself. Okay, if you want to know which direction to go, hold on, and we'll talk about it, okay? I'm not going to, listen, I'm not going to chastise you. I'm not going to tell you not to do anything, but I'm saying, Tommy, this is a problem in our entire society because people are overreacting to the mold issue. They're totally overreacting to it. We got more coming right up.
Any industry in the entire universe. I don't care what. That's why a lot of insurances, home insurance, take it right out of the policy. They won't do mold.
Yeah,
they won't cover mold.
Definitely a huge scare tactic.
And then especially up here, we're so dry. You really have to have a constant leak to.
And I use hydrogen peroxide to kill the mold.
Or Clorox. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, bleach. But bleach is the poison gas. So I'm in the business of taking bleach out. Why would I want to put bleach in a person's home? Hydrogen peroxide is instant. Bleach is not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Does hydrogen peroxide stay longer to help?
No, it kills everything.
Just kills it right there?
Yes. And it'll still be black. It's not going to change the color of it.
Really? Okay. So then you got
to bleach.
So you just got to pressure wash it or scrape it or whatever just to get it out.
You got to know that you did it.
Right.
You know, because if somebody does it, it's still going to be black. And they're saying, well, you didn't do it. Well, yeah, I did do it. It doesn't change the black into the
testing. That mold is this.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of, not a lot, but a fair amount of mold around bathtubs and showers and things like that. You know, get rid of it.
But hydrogen peroxide.
So I put bleach in people's houses, then they yell at me because they say, well, I'm allergic to bleach. I should have told them you're allergic to bleach. I told them
bleach smells like.
Well, I need to find some environmental engineers that are not fearmongers. I swear to God, do you know any? We need to find some. We need to find some engineers. Suzanne, we need to find some engineers that aren't fearmongers. I swear to God, we do. Some scientists. I don't want ones that poo-hoo it either way. I want just accuracy. I want total accuracy. Because we get these guys in the business, my God, people think literally that they are going to die from black mold.
And some people have different allergies. I mean, it's just like they're allergic to dust. Or
if you could spray it with hydrogen peroxide, put a fan on so it dries out quickly, so then the water and the hydrogen peroxide doesn't cause any other damage.
So is it safe just to paint it over it and stuff? If it's like on a
spray 3%.
And it won't, once you get it, it's not going to like show through or anything. So
no,
do like it kills or something. So here's a mold inspection and testing in Denver.
Hello, honey.
But I have a show to do. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan.
No, it's just amazing, and people won't even touch things like that. And it's kind of funny is cheese gets mold on it all the time. You know, cheese is mold.
I think I had some for dinner.
No, just you know what you said. What you said what you had to say. So you do what you have to do. You know, don't stir it up.
Do what? Light?
Or a certain kind of light will. Okay. Ultraviolet. Okay. You know, like
it is, honey. It is.
The problem is it's fine in ultraviolet light.
But it's better just to spray it down and stuff.
Plus the water will get in places the light won't.
Yeah. And then, like I say, if you just keep a fan down there to get circulation, it'll keep.
You take that 5% bleach, you know, that you spray the bottle of chlorine. That's really strong.
I want to know about this guy. This guy's
and it'll stick up the whole house.
I actually, I kind of like the smell of bleach a little bit. You know, I got clothes and stuff, you can smell it's been bleached, but you're right.
Some people like it, some people have no problem with it. You know, so it's, and I shock wells with bleach. I can't use
yes. Yeah, in fact, right. Well, up there, I got a place in Blackhawk, yeah, and that's how they tested and stuff, that's really shocked with bleach. Is Mark not coming up today?
Seminars on regenerative medicine. It could be a life-changing experience. 888-628-1899 to register for one of our upcoming seminars. And for information, visit stemcelltherapyforpain.com. I'm Tom Marchino. I had stem cell therapy on my lower back, and it's nothing short of a miracle. Within 1 week, 90% of my pain was gone.
I wouldn't mind commenting on Dave's problem with steam wave getting paid under the table.
Start Googling the truth about black mold and try to come up with something with me, Dan.
Like I said, we could try calling this guy, this mold inspection and testing in Denver. And see, it doesn't look like he just tests.
You got so much fear mongering. That's the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And the government can be fear mongering too.
Yes,
I think they're the biggest.
And just like radon, even though radon I think has issues and stuff, it's overblown.
Is this the Center for Disease Control? Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, when you hear about toxic mold or any kind of health problem, here's what you have. You have people who exaggerate one way and people who exaggerate the other. Just like with global warming or climate change. Nobody denies climate change goes on. The discussion really is, how is man contributing to it? And can he actually stop it? I mean, we've seen climate change over the history of this earth. To deny that is moronic. That's not the discussion. The discussion is how much climate change is going on, to what degree, and is mankind actually affecting it? But it becomes political. We totally discount science. It becomes political. I've seen it happen. It happens with nutrition. And now, because of drugs and pharmaceuticals, the statin industry is the most profitable branch of pharmaceuticals, because people are brainwashed into this cholesterol thing. It becomes political. Then you have the mold thing. Of course mold can be dangerous, and certain people have sensitivities. It can be really dangerous. Most of the time, it's not. But I swear to God, it's gotten to a point where if somebody has mold, you get some of these companies, they basically are telling you got to build a new house. And then what happens if that gets wet while you're building it? According to some of these purists, you got to tear it down. Well, there is no such thing as a mold-free environment. There's no such thing. Mold in and of itself is part of our environment and has some beneficial effects as well. So I want to find the truth. But you can't find the truth by finding people who make a living destroying it or mitigating it. The same with radon gases. These issues step outside of science. So Tommy's calling and wants to know about getting rid of mold. He doesn't even know what the mold count is. He has no idea what his air says. He has no idea what type of mold it is, or if it is even deadly, or can it be killed easily with just a spray, because some of it can be. You don't have to cut out everything and remove it, and then removing furnaces and water heaters. Sometimes you do. So I'm getting a question. I want to help Tommy, but we didn't even do the right thing to begin with. So we have had problems in the past finding credible laboratories and scientists to look at it objectively. Now, this is what I mean. If you believe in something, whether it is chronic fatigue syndrome, or, because that requires, by the way, in fibromyalgia, that requires faith. There's no medical test. That requires just blind faith. And mold and global warming, whatever you want, if you find a scientist who agrees with you, you say, oh yeah, they're good. If you find someone who doesn't, you say they're covering up. So you see how it's difficult to get someone independent? It is. And then it's so easy, and I've done this in experiments, to make people feel a certain way. They start feeling tickling in their throat. They start feeling allergic to something, and it's not even there. I did that to a woman one time who said she had environmental sensitivities. And I told her I had found something in her home, which I did not. And she started getting all the symptoms. Now, of course, I was kicked out of her home and never invited back when I told them I was spamming them. I was spoofing them, that I never really did find it. In another woman's home, I planted something under her bed that she said she was deadly allergic to, that I knew she wasn't, because we were around it all the time, but she didn't know it and she refused to recognize it. There was a couple that I knew. And I put something that she said she was allergic to under the bed. She never felt better, until finally I told her it was there. Then she said, I knew something was up. I was feeling weak. And by the way, it wasn't deadly. It wasn't like a peanut thing. It wasn't one of those. But it was something she said she was allergic to that I saw her all the time next to, but she did not realize it contained that substance. It's just amazing to me how, as a society, we have become panic-stricken, and we buy all the bull sheep. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
You know what, Tom, I've been researching for someone who does mold testing, but I see a lot of at-home kits. Have you ever tried one of those?
That's what I was going to recommend to Tommy for at least the
initial testing.
Yes, for the air. And then I'm going to make it my mission for Tommy and others, and I'm going to let him ask his question. I never even let him ask his question, because if it's a business question or a contractor question, I'm going to answer it for him. I just wanted to get this out of the way. I'm on a mission to find someone non-biased, one way or the other. I don't want someone who says, yeah, black mold's perfect, you don't ever have to worry about it, but I don't want people who say, if you see a little dot of it, you got to rebuild your house. I want someone who's knowledgeable, honest, trained, educated. I'm not that person. Okay, Tommy, I went off on this, so I want to stop now. Just what are your questions we can help you with on evaluating this contract?
Hi, Tom. Well, the voice has changed. This is Tommy's wife because he had their dad.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
It's Colleen.
Colleen, what can we do for you? Did you have questions about picking a contractor?
Well, a contractor, we have just a couple of questions, and one was, I guess we're putting the cart before the horse, but we were wondering if we're considering reselling our home, what our legal obligation is regarding this mold. If
there's a question about it and you have it, you have to answer honestly. If there's a question about it. But the thing I would do before I did that is test and then find out if you do have black mold to begin with. And second, if it's the poisonous or toxic kind, it's not all toxic. And if the spores are in the air, because if they're limited to simply that area, you can just spray stuff on it. I mean, kills. Yeah, it really isn't as big a deal as some people say in most cases. But I don't want to tell you you don't have a problem. So, yes, you have to disclose it if there's a question about it. But you can say, I don't know. you know, as far as the severity, you could say, you know, or have it checked yourself. Here's the problem. They call people who are in the business of mitigating it, and they walk in. This is what people in the radon business and the mold business do. They walk in and the water business. I'm going to tell you, the water business fits in that category, and we'll talk to Al about it. They walk in and they go, "Oh my God, how long have you been living here? Do you have small children?"
Yeah.
Let me, you know, and then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to be here long, please. I need to leave. We need to talk outside." Or they're going to scare the living crap out of you, and they are so immoral about it. They just scare. So get some at-home tests, and then I feel like a fool here because I'm talking like this, but I don't have anyone to recommend that I can tell you is truly independent and truly unbiased. I just want someone honest in the business. And most of the guys who do the mitigation, they're a bunch of charlatans taking advantage of fear. So in your case, before I panic, at least get some at-home testing kits and find out what's up, okay? And then wait for us to find, we will find, some kind of scientist. People listening, this show has a far reach. If you are in the business of checking for environmental toxins, if you could lend truth about mold, not fear, truth. Now, there may be some fear in some of that truth. That's fine too. But I don't want someone with a slant or an angle one way or the other. That's all I'm asking for, is someone with an open mind. We would love for you to contact us. We have a lot going on here. Let's take a quick break. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I hope you never need Wink and Wink. They are attorneys who do bankruptcy, but you know what? They can get you a fresh start. And sometimes people need a fresh start with a divorce, a death in the family, even some silly youthful days of credit cards. That's the worst kind. That's really the worst kind. You know, you can learn from it, though, and really, truly turn your life around. Winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. Winkandwink.com.
CSU, they have a whole...
that would be good.
Yeah, see if we can find somebody there. So I just did the vitamins. You are out of the aspirin.
Oh, that's
are you okay? They're like just five. Okay, you just there's a couple that don't.
Don't worry about those. Yeah.
You want me to pick them out next time? No.
You don't have to do that. Just don't worry about it. It's so funny people got that. Like you read on it, black mold is a gambit.
Okay.
Axiom inspections, they come up when I look for mold. They are or were on our
the guy
list.
for
do you know anything about that?
Champion Safe, head of the SWAT team for Albert County.
I got to find. They at least
So
were.
that's
They need to confirm that they
that's
still
what I'm
are.
going to use.
Albert County has
SWAT team.
Has what? Where's Albert at?
SWAT team for Albert County. Albert County's big.
Okay, but what do they do? What do they do?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying the guy
He
for
was
the safe that was stolen is the head of the SWAT for Albert County.
You know that safe that was stolen? They stole it and then they broke into it later on and recovered a gun and his badges.
Tom wasn't here for that
$40,000.
You weren't here for that call, Tom. That was Mark's.
Where they stole this whole safe?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're finding the guns and the badges have been used, which means it was broken into. So now I'm going to call corporate and see what I can do.
If my pictures are being displayed
I just saw
in
his whole
pixelated
envelope, the
way,
whole,
does that mean
his whole
I
deal.
need
I was
in my
like,
media
oh,
files?
never tell Dan.
My media files are all about the
We'll get you one of those little
and when they
sticky
show on
ones
the
that
front
they give you
page, they're being pixelated.
Or
So that would tell
plastic
me
wings. I think that
that
has so
I
much.
need to have.
You're forcing them to fit into that size.
So should I make them more dense so they, when they blow them up, they won't?
What make them smaller?
Do I, that's what I was asking. If I make them smaller, will it pixelate even more when they try to blow them up?
I don't think so.
Or do I make them bigger? So I'm going to experiment with the.
Yeah, who knows how it's going to.
Yeah, I know. This is the only pain in the ass when you're making something from scratch. Like
these guys do mold testing and inspection.
As long as they're not involved in the mitigation.
The Center for Disease, can't we say the Centers for Disease Control, they're pretty...
You think they'd be pretty biased, but you think they would do it for free, or...?
No. I mean, they're a source of information, possibly. Hey, Suzanne, what about the Center for Disease Control, if they have a media team or somebody that can talk about it? The term... The Center for Disease Control seems to be very, very straightforward.
For 46 years, carries a lifetime warranty on all parts. Don't waste your money on inferior big box or infomercial equipment.
I love what they're saying about this. I like it already.
What are they saying?
Facts about molds. That molds are not poisonous.
Through the end of July, save up
Period.
40% off. The lowest prices nationwide. Now is the time to invest in your health.
And how common it is. I love these people.
Who is this on the security?
In Denver off 58th Avenue I-25.
So Mark, are you still high on screaming deals or not?
Yeah,
we did so much work on it.
Yeah, we got to watch it.
Check us out at fitnessgallery.com. Fitness Gallery, getting Colorado in shape since 1997.
Should we take components like this that we have on the referral list and delegate them out to someone who can take them over, and it can be their little thing for rev share? Seriously, and manage a section. Just manage it. Like someone who manages screaming deals and someone to do these classifieds and different components. And you give them ownership. I don't mean like ownership, you know what I mean? Like ownership meaning that they have a stake in it, where they can make some really good money and make it shine. I think it's a cool idea. As opposed to...
I don't know if there's enough. Off the bat, though, it's always that chicken and egg thing, you know? Finding someone to do that when there's zero revenue. You know what I mean?
So call the taxpayer hotline today for free information. 1-800-442.
I think the
1-800-442-4840. Need a new roof? Call Excel.
Ultimately, the classified should be pretty much just user driven. I mean, there's going to have to be a monitor.
It's free, right? We're doing
well, yeah. I mean, we don't want people.
It's a traffic generator. We're doing it free, right?
Yeah. I wonder how you police it. Like, you know,
they have to register. They have to be real people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if someone puts up there, you know, I'm a hooker, I'll be there. Yeah. Whatever. How do we know that actually goes up?
Well, do we have to review each one?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we have Al in the house with Pure Water Choices. Al, very quickly here, just very quickly, the two major types, or three or four, how many types of water filtration are there to filter water in a home?
Okay, well, it's all about definition. Filter is different than the water softener, which doesn't filter.
Right, let's talk filters.
So you have water softeners, water filters. And
let's talk filters to purify water.
Number one in the world would be carbon.
Okay, I'm just right now, and we're going to go through them later, but I just want the major categories. So carbon is what we all see in those things in our refrigerator, ice maker, or excuse me, disposable, the water that they serve on the side of the door and stuff.
Right.
Okay, so that's a carbon.
For the most part, it's carbon, yes.
Now, what's the other major kind?
Just regular sediment filter, paper filter. You got nanoceram, which is an ultra filter.
Okay, paper is another way, and then ceramic is another?
Well, there's ceramic, yes. Ceramic is old. That's 180 years old.
So you really don't have them anymore?
I love ceramic. I don't use them anymore.
Okay, so carbon, paper, ceramic. What other types of filtration?
For me, the nanoceram is probably the best.
And what is that?
It's a simple-looking paper filter, but it's proprietary paper with nano-aluminum fibers in it. It's on the space shuttle. It's in the NASA Hall of Fame.
So it uses both paper and aluminum?
Alumina fibers.
Alumina fibers.
Yes.
Because you say aluminum, you make people afraid.
Yes.
Because of the Alzheimer's thing, the scare. But this has nothing to do with that.
No.
So it's a nanoceram?
Nope. It's nanoceram is the brand name, yes.
Oh, okay. And
but it is paper.
So really, you like paper over carbon?
No. No, they do two different things. That's the problem with water. Is
that's the problem.
Separate media to do a certain thing.
So you may need literally more than one filter.
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing I want to know, and we'll be talking about that in the next hour. Let me take Jamie, who needed an employment attorney, and we do have one on right now. Oh, I'm sorry, line 6. I'm sorry, Jamie, hold on. It's line 6 here with, not the arrow. David, you have a problem, and we need to talk about it to see what our employment attorney says. Sean Olson from the Olson Law Firm. David, go ahead.
Hi, how's it going?
What's happening?
Well,
Your problem.
I was working for this gentleman. I was forced to be driving. I don't have a current driver's license. I was forced to speed.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean forced to drive? To make deliveries?
No, I was working for a carpet cleaner.
Yes.
I was forced to drive and go to these customers' houses and do
their carpets. Did you drive your own vehicle or their vehicle?
One of theirs.
Okay, so you were forced because there's no one else driving, so you had to take, if you wanted the job, you had to drive the van to the job.
Yes.
Okay, and what else were you forced to do?
Speed, lie to customers.
Like what do you mean speed? Why were you forced to speed?
To speed from job to job.
Why speed? Did they specifically say go over the speed limit?
He had told me that the way he had scheduled things and was
I get you. So what's the next thing? I don't think he was saying you had to go over the speed limit as a requirement, but what else do you have here? You said forced to lie. What about the lying?
Lie to customers about cleaning and materials and stuff like that.
Like what kind of lies would you tell? Give me an idea.
Like some carpet cleaners charged a flat rate. He would charge for everything else and hidden fees and all that other stuff in there.
But I don't understand what you're saying. Where was the lie? What was the lie? That you said it would be one fee and then you had hidden fees inside of that fee?
Well, he would tell us to charge him something else than what he was telling us, techs.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand. Hold on, David, I want to help you, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what you're saying. And in order for me to understand what you're saying, in other words, you said hidden fees. So what does that mean? In other words, how do you hide a fee if somebody has to pay it? I need to know that part of it, and I need to know about the parts of the fees that you were unhappy with, and then I got to figure out what our employment attorney can even say about this, but I do want to help. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans.
What he's complaining about has actually been in our house probably 2 or 3 times.
What is this all about? Who is it?
The carpet cleaner guy in our old neighborhood, Steamwave.
Oh, yeah. But what is he saying? He's not making sense.
What I thought he was going to say is, hey, I was accused of taking keys from someone's house. I was on Titan Road. Clay, the owner of Steamwave, left me on the side of the road, hasn't paid me for 4 days worth of work. And so I thought this was going to be easy cheesy. He's paid under the table. So, anyway, then he starts talking about being forced to speed and stuff.
The lie says he's working for CenturyLink.
I don't understand that part. So we're going to do redirects on referral lists for some issues that have popped up.
What is a redirect?
Well, go to Google real quick. I want to show you because it's fucking.
Go to google.com?
Yeah, just go to Google and search Excel Roofing Referral List.
On 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
I don't know if anyone would ever search it like that, but okay.
Well, it's just how I get the link to it.
Oh, I see.
So now if we go here, watch this one. This one's fine. If you click on this, this will go right to...
Oh, we're getting broken links, aren't we?
Well, now they're not broken. Watch this, though. This is exactly what should happen. Brings you right to his listing. Now, the problem is, though, everyone also has this. Look at this one. It says Excel Roofing. This one says Member User. Now watch when I go to this one.
And it's not just Excel, it's about 300 of them.
And whoever's a user.
This comes up.
Built it is very high level and
Which, of course, is just fucking gobbledygook. It's bullshit. So what I'm going to have them do is anything that has this member user in it will automatically redirect to Excel Roofing. Because I don't want to just go into our homepage, because that'll piss people off.
We'll just ignore member user.
Yeah, so when it calls member user, it's going to go to the good one. So I have him doing that right now.
But why is that even coming up?
Fuck it, it's just that new theme, man. The only other way is get rid of the member users, but I might use them at some point.
We don't use them now, do we?
No, I used to let people go in there and change their own shit, but only for coupons. We have a little coupon section.
And we're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just not there anymore, but we might give them access to something in the future. So I hate to get rid of them. Plus, I hate to get rid of those links, because if you Google now, if I get rid of the member users, it'll just come up 404. It'll be a broken link. So I rather kind of work around it. And then another weird fucking thing, like if you go to someone, it's just this little shit that pops up. I'm having them get rid of, I'll show you something else too. Here, Al, I think, has got a review.
You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
So, if we look at their reviews, this drives me nuts. Why is that little broken symbol next to the stars? I have no idea what it is, why it's there. No, but he's going to get rid of it. I just
one does bacteria. One does.
It's like
carbon doesn't do like.
Carbon is for gas.
Oh, okay. Does reverse osmosis take everything?
Yeah, for the most part.
But that uses power.
It uses water. Water waste.
Oh, it's the 15-year, 10-year tax. So we probably didn't move those over.
So there's how you find out what it is. I'll show you how to do that.
No, I watched what you did.
Okay, now we can find out exactly where it's
so I bet that 15-year.
So there we go. So here
it's not there. I'm going to have to.
Okay.
So
that's what it is.
if your body is prone to,
or it could be the 10-year one.
But it's an image search, and it's
and then go to the home page. Here's another thing that makes no sense that me and you didn't catch. Just go home.
There is such a thing.
There's no purpose in this other search. There's zero purpose. In fact, if anything, it's what other search right here. It's retarded because it's searching shit that's not
I can take that out now.
Well, I told him to remove it. But
all that is
but if you search here, it's not searching our stuff. It's just a general search.
It's a volume search. So if I
but it's confusing people because they'll come down here and type in roofing, and it doesn't bring up shit. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. But he's getting rid of that today. But I had someone email me going, hey, I keep searching for roofing, there's nobody there. And I'm going, what?
Right. The still is basically pure water. But reverse osmosis gets
98%.
So they take care of like that.
Yeah. And then you still got to fix that other thing. So we can turn.
I know you're saying it's a big water waste.
So we can, people can watch live on the site again.
Some 5-to-1.
Actually, I might have directed it to go to.
It is 5-1-to-1.
Did I direct this to go to?
Okay. And it's very slow too. Very slow. Has up to say. Yep. 2.5 gallons.
I just use the drink.
Yeah.
Up there and stuff.
I just put it's just sitting here for now. It's not here.
Where's that at?
Black Hawk. When I say that, it's because everything's coming through the rocks.
Yeah, correct.
It's deep, like 3 or 4 feet. But you get big
all that mountain water up there,
yeah,
it's just results of lightning and
hopefully we're not from that, but you're right. A lot of that.
It doesn't matter how far away you are.
The old miners were bastards. They were.
Hey, there's the EPA was up there not long ago and opened up one of those old gold mines and contaminated the shit out of a lot of people's water like a year ago. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
It was huge.
Los Angeles River, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the big plant, Black Hawk, you've probably seen, the water plant just came online.
Oh, the one that in between like the gas station and the casinos?
Yes, yes. It's right.
I thought that had been online for a long time.
No, just finished up.
So it's just been, it's been there for over a year.
They've been working on it for a year.
Okay.
They've been building it brand new. It's then and then that big parking lot.
How do most of those clean water?
Pardon me?
How do most of those
Big plants.
clean water?
They're big as a lot of carbon. They're all different.
Okay, they are all
Brand new plants down in.
How about like the new reservoir out in Parker?
Yeah, they're going to use ceramic disc.
Oh, you told me that last time,
They
actually.
use ceramic disc.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. You said they can clean them. They basically last forever.
Ceramic is cleanable, and I don't know how well theirs are cleanable, but they are.
How about like the old? How about like Cherry Creek? What do they use?
I'm not sure because the one in Parker, Nerder Hess is one of only 2 in the world like it.
That's wild.
Castle Rock uses hollow fiber corn, but it's not.
Yeah, so they get it.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints, and to make your life a little easier. All you have to do is give us a call. Now, this number, 303-MARTINO, works 24/7 around the clock. If we are in the office, we'll get it. We get voicemail. We also get it right here live on the show when we're on the air. You can also use our number now, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, listen, we have a guest today, Al Vandenheuvel. He's with Pure Water Choices. We were talking about filtration, some very important information I want to go over. But right now, I also want to talk to Sean Olson, our employment attorney, because he's listening to a problem on the air, and then we're going to go to people who've been holding. David says that he worked for a carpet cleaner, and he's basically upset with the carpet cleaner, okay? And he said he was forced to drive even though he didn't have a license. He was forced to speed, basically to get to job. He wasn't told to speed, but he had to speed to get to jobs. And then he was forced to lie about stuff. That part I didn't get to yet. But I will say this right off the bat, and I think our employment attorney will agree with me or not. I'm not sure. But Sean Olson, on the point of forcing to drive, here's what I would say to someone if they came to me and said they're forced to drive. They're not forced to drive. If he doesn't have a license, then he should resign.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
And I don't think you can hold the employer responsible for him driving. I don't know. Maybe you can. Can you?
Well, if you're talking about the employee himself, no, probably not.
No, can you hold the employer? In other words, this guy has a carpet cleaning business, and he's letting the guy drive his van. Aren't they both to blame?
Absolutely, they are.
What if the guy with the van says, "I didn't know he didn't have a license"? I mean, I don't know if it matters. I know he's trying to lash out at his employer or whoever this relationship was, subcontractor or whatever. It doesn't sound like a sub, sounds like an employer. But it sounds like he's trying to lash out on him. Can he get this guy in trouble for allowing him to drive without a license?
Well, if this all happened in the past and it's not ongoing, it's probably going to be pretty difficult.
Okay.
So I'm betting that the employer's got a different story than what he's sharing.
So, David, if we want to give you weapons, David, you need accurate weapons, and being forced to drive is not going to be an important weapon in your arsenal. And being forced to...
Tom,
yeah.
That's only a little bit of the problem. My major problem is that he didn't pay me my last check.
Okay, well, you need to get paid, that's for sure.
Out on a road, walking home at 11:30 at night after going from Fort Collins all the way to Littleton.
How did that happen? Explain how that happened that night.
I was in Fort Collins doing jobs.
Okay.
I got a phone call that as soon as I got done with my last job to go to a certain address in Littleton.
Okay, then what?
I'm sorry?
Then what?
I had gotten a phone call and was told to go to a certain address in Littleton.
Okay, then what? After that, you got there, then what?
I got there. They wanted to search my things for supposedly a customer calling and saying that keys were missing out of the house that I was supposedly in.
Okay, and did they search?
They did not search. The police had searched my personal property and myself and found nothing on it.
Okay.
I was contacted through another police department on more information on that. It's
so you were searched and nothing was found, and that was that night, right?
Correct.
And then what happened?
I gave him some time to get together on my check.
Well, we're talking about that night. You said something about walking. You were in Littleton. They wanted to search for keys. What happened?
I ended up dealing with the cops at that point.
Okay.
I ended up walking away from it because I felt like the employer didn't have a right to be searching my things.
Okay.
I kind of know my rights on that kind of stuff.
So you walked away, and then what? I'm trying to get the story.
I walked away. The police had contacted me. I had sat with the police on the side of the road for 2 hours.
Okay.
At this point in time, it was well over midnight. By the time I ended up walking away from Titan Road and Santa Fe.
So the police released you basically.
Yes. Yes.
And then you didn't have transportation.
Correct.
What did the boss do? Because what happened to the van you were driving?
It was taken from me when I walked away.
From the boss?
I left the van sitting where it was at when I grabbed my stuff and figured out that the employer didn't have a right to search my stuff.
No, I understand that, David, but you added the part about walking home at midnight from Littleton, and I think you did that because it bothered you, but did you expect the employer to provide you a ride after you left the van and walked away? I'm trying to find out what we're complaining about. Is that the part you wanted him to come back and give you a ride home?
No, that's where it started to go to the point of where I didn't get my last check.
Okay, so you got home that night, I assume, and then did you call him the next day? Or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but when did you ask for your paycheck?
I believe I gave him 3 days after that, or I did text him a little bit after that and told him that, I showed him that I proved to the cops and I proved to him that I shouldn't have any kind of problems and that I was expecting a check from him.
Sure, of course. And how much did he owe you?
Tom, I have text messages from him from that point in time when I did start
how much does he owe you?
Contacting him to get a check.
How much does he owe you?
I'm figuring between $300 and $400.
Okay, and is that your normal rate of pay for the work you had done?
Correct. And he also has a contract with a restaurant that I had cleaned for him. There's 100 and some odd restaurants in the state of Colorado that he has a contract with.
Okay.
And
all right. So right now, is this whole call?
And he had paid. He hasn't paid me for that.
Is this whole call basically because you want to get paid, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I want to let people know about
him,
the company, and how he does not treat his employees correctly.
I understand that. So, as far as the money, how much does he owe you?
Between $300 and $400.
That's including that second thing you told me about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's just say, for argument's sake, $400. And so that's what it all boils down to. Were you being paid with a W-2?
No, sir. I was being paid underneath the table.
Okay. In other words, cash?
No, he was writing me a company check, and I was a company personal check.
And what did he put on the memo?
Sometimes he would leave them open. Sometimes he would put contracted work.
Okay, I get it. Sean, basically, what do you think? I mean, I don't think it should be hard for him to get his money, do you?
Well, it shouldn't be. I think in a case like this, my best recommendation is contact the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. They're set up to investigate this kind of thing.
And they will.
And they will. And they'll do it for no charge at all. They'll do it relatively quickly, and they now have enforcement capability as well to make sure you get that money paid to you.
You know, that, and David, believe it or not, they really will investigate these. They do. And
he's going to be in trouble, too, because you know that guy was not an independent contractor. That was definitely an employee.
Yeah, you were an employee, and you're not going to be in trouble, David, but that guy's going to be in trouble.
They'll audit him.
Okay, now, Tom, there is another issue that I wanted to throw out at you.
What is it?
Is the buddy that I'm living with also worked with this company at the same time I was. He still hasn't gotten paid for his last check.
Well, then you both go. That would get, if you get 2 complaints in a day on the same company, that will speed things up. So, do you know how to contact them, David?
I don't. If there's, I mean, Tom, if you look, my phone number's out of state, so I'm not really.
You're not here anymore? You're not in the state anymore?
Yes, I am in the state of Colorado.
Okay, but you're not familiar with it. Okay, hold on. Sean Olson, do you have a number available right there quickly, do you?
I don't have a phone number.
You know what? We'll get it for you, though. It's easy. It's an easy thing, David. We'll help you, okay? Suzanne, let's give him Sean's recommendation on where to go to the Labor and Employment Office, please. And Sean will either have the address or we'll look up the phone number for David. That's really the best thing you can do right now. All right, we talked about, and we're going to go back to all of your calls, 303-713-TALK. We talked about filtration. There's carbon, there's paper, ceramic, and this paper that you like, Al. Why do you like paper? And then when do you use carbon and when do you use paper? You said in order to filter out all of the contaminants, you need more than one type of filtration. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, but what I want to know is this. With city water, whether Denver or whatever, Aurora, Littleton, do we need filtration?
In my opinion, absolutely.
Why?
All cities have to add chlorine to it, and now they're adding ammonia to it.
Okay.
So ammonia and bleach together is called chloramine. That's a deadly poison right there. It's designed to...
But obviously our tap water's not killing us.
No.
But it's not good for you, you're saying.
It's a poison.
Okay. So are you saying that there has ever been any illnesses traced to tap water?
Nope. Well, absolutely. No, let me rephrase that. Yes, absolutely. Tap water's killed hundreds and hundreds of people all over America, all over the world. You bet.
Over time?
Yes.
What contaminants did you say there's also a certain amount of trace medications allowed in water?
The EPA, every river the EPA has tested has pharmaceutical drugs in it. That's a lot. Every river.
So when you filter out with carbon, what are you filtering out?
Mostly gases. That's the big thing. Chlorine, chloramine, trihalomethanes.
Okay, so you'll get all the gases. And then with the paper, what are you filtering out?
That particular nanoceram, it's a virus filter. So
what are you filtering?
Well, you can filter viruses, bacteria, E. coli, pharmaceutical drugs, RNA,
but carbon will not do that.
No, they'll do some of that.
So to be complete, you have to have a 2-stage?
Yes.
And do you do many of those systems?
Yes.
All right, we got more coming up on this topic. So, you know, I never actually knew that you need a different filter for different things, and that is a pretty good thing to know. So carbon for gases and paper for germs, basically, and sediment. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And carbon can get some sediment as well, I imagine.
Yeah, and I was down in Colorado Springs, and the PFCs in the water from fire retardants is a big thing down there. It's getting in all the rivers, and it's in underground wells. Carbon will pull that out.
And you can do whole house or you can do point of use. Okay, 303-713-TALK. If you have any specific questions, you can give us a call, but we are talking about that, and it's really a good thing to really talk about, because if you think about it, it's something that happens every day. I want to mention something very important, and that is Flexident right now has openings for your hail-damaged cars or any dings or dents. It doesn't have to be hail. Whether it's self-pay or insurance pay, they do both. And I'm telling you, for self-pay, it's a bargain, because they really, really do it cheaper than regular body shops, because they never touch the paint. Flexident is the preferred way to get your car fixed. That's Flexident, Colorado.com, 303-619-6273. That's Flexident paintless dent repair. That is 303-619-6273.
There's a few slow spots on the highway.
There's also another thing driving me nuts. So if you, what is that? If I want paragraphs with spaces in between them on a listing,
oh my God, it doesn't come out the way you program it.
I make the space, it looks perfect,
and then you go to WYSIWYG,
and it fucking looks different.
Right. It
drives me crazy.
That's WordPress. That's all WordPress. So
Do you know how to get around that? Is you have to go to text, and you have to kind of format it there.
That's stupid, though. Why?
Or put in an extra space. I know, where it looks bad in the editor, but looks good on the page.
I can even put like 5 spaces in between sentences or paragraphs now, and it still puts them. It still runs them all together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got to figure out.
Okay, so
I got to figure out why.
There are plugins, Mark,
that'll format
that do better formattings for pages. And there's one editor in particular that is really good at doing that, because the WYSIWYG, they say, what you see is what you get, it doesn't work in WordPress. It really doesn't.
Look at this. Here's how it looks in the back end. I just said or mirror this. So in the back end, look,
yes,
done, and then space.
Right. Okay. Now you do this.
Now when I go to the front end,
you go to look at the page. You go look at the listing.
And they do it all from their local showroom warehouse on Pecos.
There's no space.
You can drop by anytime.
All it does is it'll indent right there, but I've got 3 spaces.
No, I know what you're saying exactly. So,
see, look at that. Here it is, look. Hearing health issues, complete space.
And no matter how many spaces you put in, it'll always
I even put in 10 at one point. It doesn't matter.
Now, if you go, let me just show you something. Go to the text part of that, not the WYSIWYG part, but the text. I mean the code part.
See, let me pull the member up.
Are you a U.S. veteran? American Financing wants
Who is it? It's Sound Relief.
If you haven't taken advantage of your VA benefits, and now is the time before rates go up.
We're just doing a page here.
This thing is so slow. For your new home purchase or refinance.
He's just having a problem with the WYSIWYG editor.
You can refinance any existing.
And I know exactly what you're going through.
Be able to take out cash.
Hey, those carbon filters that like in those pictures, are they pretty good? Good for
Now,
they're not going to pull out ammonia.
Would she be using stagnant reflow?
Still have access.
He might be in it right now.
In that particular page.
In that exact. He has to be in there.
So don't take it over.
He must be loading. Oh, yeah.
But in the WYSIWYG, go take another page. Just look at another page. I'll show you what to do.
I'm just going to take it over.
Or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
Oh, yeah, just pour it out and test it.
Now go to.
That could have been so here it is, right?
You're on visual.
Yeah, but here's.
So where's the space right now? Okay, now go to text. Go to text. And look at the same spot. Okay. Now you got. Now put. Where? Oh, the divisions are there. God damn it! Hold on. If the divisions are there,
now watch. Now we'll just go to view.
No, I know that. They're ignoring those divisions. Now that div should not be ignored. I don't understand. I was going to say you can place those in there.
And that's something.
Okay, it's ignoring your divs. Go back to the text though.
I don't know if it's just this one though.
No, it's all of them. I'll bet.
I don't know
because it thinks it knows how to format better than you. If you go to editor, are you classic editor? Yes. You're going to the classic editor. See, that's where it was. Okay,
I've got 4 or 5 in it.
No, you do. That's bullshit. See. And when you want to put a picture and wrap text, it doesn't wrap either properly. But Mark, that's all of WordPress. That's why there are plugins for page. Is this a page or a post? How do you do this? As a page or a post?
It's a member.
I know, but what is it actually? It's a page or a post? Okay. If it's a post, there are post editors. Plugins.
I want to see if it is everybody.
If it is, then we're going to do a plugin. I'm going to show you an editor that works.
On Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
You know, I bet I didn't even think of that. I bet it did. It uniformed them. No, Excel has spaces. It has spaces.
And it's recognizing them.
Yes.
There's something different.
That's crazy.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal, selling you the best when it comes to used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, and they have so many convertibles now, and they have all price ranges, colors, and models and makes, and that's what makes them strong, the selection. Also, the ease of operation. You get in there and you can get a car done quickly because all prices are clearly marked. They have 40 lenders to choose from, and they'll value your trade if you want to trade it in because you'll get a great value because they sell most of them right there. Just find out how cool it is to go there, pick a car, the price is there, find the selection you want, and then the lender you want, and get the trade you want. And it's all 100% done while you're there. They never call you back with mistakes to take the car back, but still pay for the use. That's bull. They don't do it. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. And that's 303-426-4646. Okay, Jamie wants to talk about cabinet doors in an apartment. Go ahead, Jamie. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. So I live at Westcliff Apartments.
Westcliff, okay.
Yeah, so my roommate and I have lived there for 2 months. And we moved in, nothing was, well, they were finishing the kitchen floor the day that we moved in, so we had to come back later.
Is this brand new or a used place?
It's a used place. I know that they've remodeled a whole bunch of units.
What were they doing to the floor?
So they were putting a new tile in our kitchen when we moved in.
Okay.
So which is fine. I'm not complaining, but they said that they had it done before we had moved in. And
of course.
You know, trying to get everything situated. And then we realized that we didn't have any cabinet doors, and they stated that they would get those done within a week. And so we moved in May 8th, and it's now July 11th, and we still have no cabinet doors.
All right, so...
no fire alarm. Our fire alarms kept going off in the middle of the night, so we took them down, went to the office, and said, we need these fixed, and then they never came and fixed them. We have a porch light that's been out, so we try to take matters in our own hands and put in our light bulbs, but then they stated that it was an electric issue, so they needed to get an electrician, which they haven't done yet either.
So, okay, so let's sum it up, though. The main thing right now, you don't have any doors on your kitchen cabinets?
Right, so you just see all of our dishes.
Seriously, I mean, on every where are the cabinet doors?
They said that they ordered them, but they just haven't never come in.
So, did they redo this unit? Is that what's going on?
I feel like they were trying to redo it, but I don't think that they did it the best that they could. They had stated before we had moved in that they were going to redo it.
This is weird. The problem with this is, as weird as it is, aesthetically, it's not a habitability issue, meaning it's hard to flex your muscles on it. Why are you showing me a picture of your sink?
I was just showing everything that was an issue.
What was wrong with the sink here that I'm looking at, other than it's filthy?
So there was mold, and so we removed the sink stopper, and under there it was all moldy.
Yeah, that's just normal. I mean, you can clean that with Clorox.
Yeah, we did. We ended up having
okay, but as far as, then what about this window? What am I looking at? Is there... What is that?
So that, I don't, honestly, to this day, I don't know what that is, but they just got that cleaned about 2 weeks ago.
That was a decal on that window. A decal, okay.
I don't know, Dom. It looks pretty gross, but you're probably right.
No, it is. I can see it. It's a decal, but anyway, that was taken off. Okay, so then the rest of the stuff are basically, I see cabinets with no doors, and they did a piss poor job painting, but. I mean, did you even see the place before you moved in?
So we saw kind of like a model version of the place. Yeah. So.
Yeah. This is not pretty. And
no.
And then are you showing me? Are you showing me where the garage? Oh, then you have one drawer you can't use because it slams into the. You have to open the dishwasher to use it.
Right, and then we don't have any handles on any of the drawers either.
Listen, I don't want to make... I don't know what to tell you. This is not an issue where you don't really have an issue here.
It looks like they're just not done. I mean, are they still working on it?
It's terrible.
No, they won't come back.
It's
to work
terrible,
on it.
but we can't force this issue because technically it's not a habitability thing. But I'd be upset too. I mean, it sucks.
Is this a complex?
Yeah, it is. I guess just what I'm trying to figure out is, do we just get the cabinets done ourselves and then?
Of course not. Of course not. That would be, you know, I mean, because these idiots wouldn't credit you for it. Well, and where would you even go to do that? Where are the doors? Where are they?
Exactly. We would have to do everything on our own and hire someone.
Oh, quite
over there. This seems absurd.
This does seem absurd.
It's like they don't know or something.
Does the landlord? Why are there some doors on there?
You know, I don't know. When we came in, they said that they had ordered. I think that there are 3 doors in the pictures I showed you. And they're like, we're waiting for the rest of the doors, but they're going to look like this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So then we call them probably like 2 weeks after we move in, and they're like, oh, it's still on back order, it's still on back order. I call them now all the time, and I'm like, you know, this is ridiculous. I pay $1,500 a month to live somewhere.
How many bedroom is that?
Doors.
How many bedroom is that?
2.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, it's a renter's market.
Well, it sounds like, honestly, though, after what she just says, it sounds like they probably are on back order. How hard would it be to actually match these exact things up? I don't know.
I mean, you mean...
I'll rattle their chain a little.
Yeah, I can see where it frustrates you. I really can. I mean, it does suck, Jamie, but it's not serious enough where you can take them, you can't get any damages or get out of the lease because of it.
No, and I don't want to get out of the lease. I just really would love some cabinet doors.
I don't blame you.
Even follow through.
But the rest of it so far, the rest of it's been taken care of. Maybe if we call over there and start looking into it, that will do it. Maybe that will do it. You know, and I'm looking at pictures here, and I just want to tell you that you have, let's see, their finish seems to be bad in general. I mean, it's okay, but they did a little sloppy job on painting, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I usually don't try to pinpoint little things like that.
Yeah.
Just because it's a nice area, which is why we went there, and you know, we can run over there and all that fun stuff, but they just aren't very good. They don't maintenance anything correctly, and they don't usually respond to anybody.
Do you like your Ninja blender?
You know, I love it.
Do you?
It's great.
And
yes.
And why the organic protein? Since you let me into your home, I'm looking around. Why?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Why the organic? Why organic?
My roommates.
Oh, okay.
Mine is the one right next to it.
This is the little Jack Daniels bottles.
There's
yeah, well, you know, you gotta have fun too.
Don't you see them right there?
No, okay. But anyway, thank you for calling. Hold on, and we'll get your information and try to light a fire or do something. Perhaps we can get you some help, okay? I think we can. I really do think we can help you out. Approval reverse mortgages are the mortgages you get when you're 62 or older and you have equity in your home. A lot of guys are doing it a lot of people are doing it just so they don't have a mortgage payment. They're not necessarily pulling cash out. They're just doing it so they can pay off their loan, and they're not taking the extra cash. You can do it any way you want, but before you do it, check with Joan Sullivan at approvalreverse.com to make sure it'll be good for you. Not all reverse mortgages make sense, and she'll tell you the truth. Approvalreverse.com, 303-771-3528. If you're looking for a beautiful smile and you don't want to go through
years of braces, or you don't want to spend $50,000 for a mouthful of veneers, then you want to look into Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. I'm talking about adults. It's remarkable.
Who's Lynn over at Brothers? Do you know?
Yeah, Lynn is Marvin's daughter, and mainly the one in charge. Yeah.
Does not need to do extractions, nor do you need surgery. It minimizes your time in braces. You can have the complete job from beginning to end in 2 years or less. In some cases,
I know she showed that her filter to her sink. I mean, you just want to throw it in the dishwasher.
and other products that are rich in minerals. So you get a beautiful smile and our health domains. Dr. Kent Lawson,
what's that?
Orthodontics.
I'm buying some new domains. What'd you buy? We're on. We already have 800 of them.
But this one I want.
Did you see the new ones for what we were talking about? Remember, we got a bunch of them that night. I forget, but they were pretty good.
Yeah, and I like.
They're on the list now, though.
Here's what I have. I have different variations of this.
Restore your car to its pre-storm value. You got hail damage? Call Denver Auto Hail Repair. 303 got hail. You'll get a thorough inspection, not
And I have
damage,
the other,
and it's free.
the other dots here that I have this. Because I'm going to start telling them to post there.
And call 303 got hail. That's 303 got hail or DenverAutoHailRepair.com.
Linda Michelle here.
That's funny. I got it too.
And these tourism websites describe it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's funny.
I got .net. I mean, I had them. I got.
You don't need .net.
I know, but people always do it.
From Brothers is a brilliant suggestion. Our technicians go through 30.
And then we just said DNS forward that right to
Priced right. It's a wise.
a certain page on the referral list.
Right, you talk about it. And give real life experiences.
Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Talk about how you can help home buyers.
Our Ideal Home Purchase Plan is an all-encompassing roadmap to buying your next home. For our 3-week closing
No, I don't think you have the ones I wanted.
Your loan up front. Our home buyer scouting report, where you search for your next home, so that when we find a house that works for you, you can close and close quickly without overpaying.
IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. Equal Opportunity Lender, regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
Huh.
Hey guys, it's Jay Brett, the owner of Excel Roofing.
Hey, we need you. Did you see the pictures of those brothers he did the roof for? I want to do a. So I want to post that.
I could put them on. Yeah, we did post at the time. I'll post. You want me to post on during breaks? I'll do
Not
that.
now.
Not now.
I want to bring it up again.
Okay.
And I want to put some of this stuff on the new troubleshooter site. I'm doing these for the new troubleshooter site.
These are the most wind-resistant
Let's.
shingles.
Can you finish that today?
These things just don't
Yeah, at least so we can get it up.
Storm shingles are also hail-resistant.
Well, he took a good picture. It really tells it all in one shot.
What is it?
So you know where.
Well, you got
Jay
that.
Brett.
You guys have that meeting too, though. Today.
Yeah, we got a, but it's at 6.
Oh, is that late?
I think it is. Our meeting's at 6 tonight, right?
Where is it?
How many people? It's up in Firestone. How many people?
She emailed wondering if we needed to do anything for us.
And we need to leave your car somewhere, and somewhere where we don't have to go off the, and then on the way back.
Are you staying at Steps? Maybe I need at Steps.
Yeah, we can do that too. Yeah.
3 rooms for just $124, including pre-treatment and sanitizing. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com. Patented empowered water. You can.
Well, it says it all.
It says it all.
On my part, it's after Zero
says
Res,
it all.
they feel new, and I never have to worry about dangerous toxins left behind. Right now, Zero Res is offering 3 rooms, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized for just $124.
Stand there and look stupid. Okay.
Call now and get really clean carpet. 303-471.
I don't need .net.
Zero Res,
No.
the only system
Not for that.
What about .org? .anything? Nothing.
without
Okay.
residue.
Not for that kind of deal. I don't know why.
5150.
How much is it? $8 a month or a year?
That's not that much wrong with it. Just because people just, I hate that. And no one uses .info. No one uses .anything anymore.
.xxx, .tv, .shit. .gov is pretty big, but you got to be government.
Strength equipment carries a lifetime warranty on all parts.
Yeah, if you bring that up.
The only one that ever made sense was XXX, I think. I think all forms should be under XXX.
Probably right.
That is a major coup.
More than just
Is it? You know, to own a top-level domain costs a lot of money to have it done.
You have $100,000.
How much?
I think a couple hundred.
Yeah, to get it done.
Yeah.
And then
But then you can sell anything under it.
Well, I'm sure you.
I woke up this morning, didn't recognize.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, I got a email question here for Okay, we have a question about water filtration expert, and it says, what kind of water filtration system will remove microbacteria, which is dangerous for those with compromised immunity systems and damaged lungs? Municipal water systems do not remove microbacteria, which is commonly present in water. So, National Jewish Registry of Health here in Denver advises against carbon filters, and actually encourage, which they say could encourage microbacteria growth. Is that true?
Not that I know of.
So what would you use for microbacteria?
I'd use that nanoceram I was talking about.
And that is a filter that that comes in a cartridge? Is it round? Is it square? What does it look like?
It would be round. You can get 2.5 by 10, 4.5 by 10, 20 inch.
And how often do you change them? Depends on flow?
No, it depends on how dirty the water is, because that's what plugs them up.
And how do you know? How do you know when to change them?
Mostly water flow. You lose your water flow.
Do you have an indicator on the filter?
No. We can add some. You can add gauges. You can do all kinds of fancy stuff with it. Yeah.
But if you just go by your seat of the pants, you literally go by water flow?
Yep.
Okay.
Every system I put in has a 3-valve bypass in a house. So if people are thinking that they're losing water flow, I should just open your bypass. That'll tell you.
Okay, on the combination system for carbon and paper, if you had to do one first, which one would you do if you had only one to do?
Carbon.
Okay, to get rid of the gases.
Yes.
Okay, and then to do two, would you do whole house filters for both of those?
You know, it's really about, I like whole house carbon, because in showers and bathtubs and doing dishes, everything, you're breathing the harmful gases. You're breathing the chlorine, chloramine, trihalometane gases.
So to get rid of the whole house carbon and then point of use paper for drinking?
Yes.
That's a good plan. And what does a point of use filter cost at a kitchen sink approximately?
Oh, depending on, we're going to have to drill granite, countertops, things like that, anywhere from
where?
6 to 800.
6 to 800.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad at all. I mean, okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cheap. You're going to get 20,000 gallons worth of water out of it. So that is
really good.
Yes.
Then what about whole house carbon?
Cost-wise?
Yeah, from what to what? What range?
If that's all I'm doing, anytime I do a whole house system, I'm installing the sediment filter anyway. So the carbon and the sediment, you're looking just by itself, 14 to 16, depending on what we
For
have.
the whole house?
Yes.
When you say carbon and sediment, what do you mean? Carbon and paper?
Yeah, there's
no. So are you saying that is a combination?
Yes.
So you don't do the 16 plus your 6 or 800 one.
No.
So if you do the whole house carbon, you will get a point of use paper filter for the.
No.
Oh, you won't.
No.
Okay. So if you do the whole house carbon, you still want to do your drinking water with the paper,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So to do the full Mac Daddy, the most you're looking at is like, let's say, what, 16 plus 8, 2,400?
Yeah.
The most, you know.
Yeah. And for instance, I do almost all of my whole house systems include 4 things: sediment filter, nanoceram, carbon, scale inhibitor, or a water softener. They're around 3,800 installed.
That's for everything.
That's
a Mac Daddy.
Yes. That's a whole house filter. I call it the ultimate whole house system.
And it does everything.
Yes.
For all faucets. So you can drink out of any faucet.
Exactly.
And shower and bathe.
Yes.
But you don't really need that, right? I mean, like, as far as the paper, you don't really need a whole house paper filter, do you? It's whatever somebody wants, really.
Really, exactly. It's exactly what they want. I give them all the options, and here's your options.
So the prices can be as little as $600 for one point of use, all the way up to $3,800 for the Mac Daddy.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's your Mac Daddy is where these other guys start, and then they try to tell people this is where. No, I'm serious.
Yes, that's what I'm finding out. Yesterday I was at a job, and the scare tactics that other guy gave him was amazing.
And they started around $4,000.
Yes.
They start there.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I like when we talked. Pure Water Choices. 720-219-7818. Let's go to Kenny. Kenny, what's going on with you, Kenny?
Hey, Tom, is Mark there today?
Yes, he is. Mark is here.
Okay, hey, Mark, Kenny Clark. I called in for Mountain Chevrolet on the 19th of this month.
You called Mountain Chevrolet, and did he take your original call?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and what's the problem?
I had 2 different experiences. Mountain Chevrolet continuously went downhill in Glenwood Springs.
Yeah.
They contacted me the next day, said, we understand you want to come back and do business with us. Some guy named Josh. My job.
Oh, they heard your call, and they called you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Mark dealt with this.
Okay.
And the company continued to drop the football all the way down the line to not even considering refunding my original $145 I spent for diagnostics.
Okay, tell me what the original problem was.
I took my Chevy pickup over there on the 19th. I made an appointment.
And what did they charge you for? What diagnostic?
Mass airflow sensor, 2 anti-knock sensors, 1 intake manifold gasket.
Okay.
He was going to drop it off. They were supposed to do all this work for this guy over the weekend or that morning. He drops it off super early. Then all of a sudden they decide they can't get the work done that day. He's got to have his truck. I think he works out at an airport. So he basically picked the truck up and they charged him $145 for, you know, virtually nothing.
So where do we stand right now? Did they give your money back?
Man. No, man, not at all. They weren't that bright. Anyways, man, I told the guy I got put back in Denver. I won't be going there. I'll get it fixed by Gearhead in Denver. Lo and behold, I'm shipped off to Grand Junction. I end up going to Ed Bozart Chevrolet. That truck breaks down on me 3 days later. Bad scene. I have Auto Club come and pick it up from the job site in Grand Junction at their airport. Yeah, I'm sure you've been there.
Yeah.
Auto Club takes it over there. I asked Auto Club guy, hey, man, can you tell me when you drop it off? The guy calls me. Okay, I'm getting a time frame here. Devin and Suzanne were the 2 people I dealt with 100%. Devin was on that phone within a half an hour of me dropping that truck off.
So you're happy with it?
Oh, yeah. What's wrong with it? Brought me up to speed. I dropped $1,425 there without ever stepping a foot in their dealership. They had it outside waiting for me ready at the end of that evening. 100% could not be happier. Reminds me of Rolly Purifoy in that dealership over there.
So you had a great
100%. Experience.
That's good.
Yes, at Ed Bozart Chevrolet in Grand Junction. As good, I went back this morning and had the front, rear, and transfer case done by them. I'm also going to have a full brake job done by them. I wouldn't even darken the doors of Mountain Chevrolet with a shadow. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it's all about. It's all about what they do for you, and then, you know, if they win your business, they win it. If they don't, they don't. That's what it's all about, literally.
I got a question for the waterman.
Yes, sir.
It says, I currently have a whole house water filter that removes chlorine with a big tank that needs the filtering material renewed. How much is that? I don't even know what he's talking about, do you?
Yes. I guess he has a large stand-up, non-backwashing carbon tank. Depends on where he is, how hard it is to get in and out.
Ballpark.
Oh, golly. You could be $800. It's a lot of labor. It's heavy stuff. Got to drain the tank, take the tank out, got to do something with the media, got to flush the media out. You know, it makes a big mess. It's not easy to do. Ideally speaking, the best way to do it is to know the size of the tank. Just bring a new tank, swap it out, take the old tank away.
All right, so we have to take this quick break, and we have a problem with Home Depot. We got some lines open for the first time, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, and it's really important. It's important to stay tuned because really, the water business, we have found more misinformation than proper information, especially when it comes to water softening. Some of these clowns out there are talking about water softening as if it's for your health and for purification. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all to do with that. So I want to tell you about that coming back.
This report is brought to you by
The material in that kind of stuff is not expensive. It's all labor.
What is the material?
It's carbon. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
It's coconut-based carbon mostly, as opposed to charcoal.
Coconut. Burned coconut?
Yep.
Like shell or?
Yeah, but isn't carbon?
Well, carbon can be manufactured. It can be mined out of the ground.
Carbon is an element, so why would coconut carbon be any different than...
It's cheap, it's light, it has a lot of them.
Carbon is carnivore.
Right now, partly body's got.
What do you think you are, an engineer?
No, carbon is not carbon. There's
Carbon's
like
an element.
12 different kinds of
He's
carbon.
saying like helium's helium.
No, but carbon is carbon, though. No, carbon is carbon once it's carbon.
Right.
Once it's carbon.
It is an element.
Carbon's carbon once it's carbon.
Okay, so can you explain to me why bone char carbon will pull out fluoride and nothing else will?
Is it the,
Yeah, engineer.
Is it the how fine it is and stuff?
No, has nothing to do with it.
So then it's not totally
So
carbon.
they take
so it's
bovine bones, grind it up to a certain size, burn the heck out
I'll
of it.
tell you why. Because of the, even though all carbon is carbon, it's not all the same structure.
They haven't. Well, that was absolutely true.
Not
You're right.
the same char,
It could be a different structure, but separate.
But you're
That's
saying
why.
as
That's
the
why the
element
structure-
itself, it's identical though.
Yeah, but the
As long-
structure of it, the way they hold on to each
The
other,
molecules.
the way they hold on to each other would denote their filtration ability.
And that's how they make different carbon things.
Same with helium. They make two different kinds of helium. The kind they get up
They got
there,
the
and then the kind they have down in the ground.
So what I'm saying is they might not totally carbonize it and stuff. What I'm saying is that bovine might have some calcium left in it, right?
Could be.
And activated carbon is different than another kind of carbon.
Oh, there's bone char, which is bone carbon. There's
Activated carbon is different than, there's another kind of carbon. Now, what is activated carbon?
Well, it's just a process that you do that removes different minerals, different stuff in the water. I use catalytic activated carbon to remove ammonia, because if it's not catalytic activated, it won't remove ammonia. So carbon is not necessarily carbon. It all does a different thing.
Here it says activated charcoal is a form of carbon processed to have small, low-volume pores that increase the surface areas available.
See, that's what
for
we're talking about then. That's why. I bet you that certain bone you do, that carbon has a different filtering capability.
It probably has a different
But what
charge.
does carbon itself do? The element.
Okay, great. I'm
Why
going to
does it kill gas?
Bye.
Does it neutralize it?
It sucks it in like a sponge.
Pardon me, Brent Ivinson is going to dial in his box on Access 1 at 12:30 today. Okay?
I can get him on every cousin. I can work him into contact. Go ahead.
Okay.
Just let me know when he's up.
Hey, we'll flip-flop Denver Spine and Ideal Home Loans. Flip Denver Spine at 12:15 at the front.
Call
720-895-0500 to find out.
That's technical jargon.
Didn't I do Denver's?
No, I already knew that. Drew's a flip-flop.
They may have saved. Have they shopped? Call us now and start saving. Affordable interest mortgage. 720-895-0500 and MLS 298-191.
Service
So, with the new site, we're going to do screaming deals, and we're going to do classified. But screaming deals is ready to go, right? All we have to do is just get people involved.
We've got to light up the, actually, I might have already done that.
So once the problems are solved,
Long as
the next
I
step-
think I already created a bank account, long
the
as
next
that's still
step
open.
would be screaming deals then, right? The next step? Because I think we can populate that. We'll make him do one. Because the stuff it'll generate, we got to make them know it's not for that deal. That's not going to make them the money. It's that we're plugging it all day. You know what I'm saying is, we're going to have, it used to be so popular, but now we're doing it way better. We're going to have it on the front page of this site. You click on it, and it goes to just your screaming deal. Do we only have one a day that we feature?
We can do whatever
Or 2 days or 3 days, whatever. And basically, it's a screaming deal, but you can have 1 or 2 or 3. But if you only had one, we could do it on we can do it on a single basis, or we can make people put the blind, I'm saying, what should we do though? If the first one buys it, it goes away. We had a number of different ways of doing it, right?
We can do quantity, yeah, sure. It can tick
But
down
we don't
to
have
zero.
an auction, right? We don't have an auction on that. We never set up the auction part.
I don't know. No, I don't recall. I don't think so.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Our guest today, Pure Water Choices. If you have any questions, Jared has one. Jared, what is your question for our guest, Al, at Pure Water Choices?
Hey, Al, how you doing? I just got a quick question about those Brita filters that you can buy at the store that connect to your water faucet.
Yes.
That the little filter sets off to the side.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about those? Are those worthy or not?
Any filter is better than no filter. So the kind of carbon that's in there is not going to pull out ammonia if you have ammonia in your area, but it'll pull out the bleach.
Yes, sir.
The chlorine. So it's better than nothing.
And
okay,
so,
I just was wondering.
Will it pull out medication?
No.
No, see, we're talking carbon now, right?
Right.
See, he said carbon is for gases. It soaks it up. It soaks up the gases and takes them out of the water. So the chlorine, for sure, and then anything else that happens to be in your water, it would take it out. And then when those carbon fibers, not fibers, but when the carbon element gets filled or saturated with gases, it then stops filtering, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's time to be changed.
It's literally volume controlled, so the more surface volume, the better.
Yes, and it's flow control, too. That's the problem with the point of use, like his end of his faucet type thing, or even a pitcher. It takes time to remove that. The faster the water goes through those filters, the less effective it is.
Do you control water flow when you put in one?
Well, that's why I use a large tank. That's why I do a whole house.
But if you do a point of use?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the deal. If you want to get the sediment and the drugs and their trace minerals and all that, that is where you use the paper, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, we talked about the misunderstanding when it comes to softening. And next hour, we're going to talk about that because so many people are they're buying softeners for the wrong reason.
I get a lot of calls. I said, why do you want a softener? I said, well, I want clean water. It's like, well, no, that's not it.
Or I want healthier water. No, it's not it. Yeah. Although there is some discussion on that when it comes to cleanliness, but we're going to discuss that coming up as well. All right, AJ, what's going on with you, AJ?
Yes, Tom, thank you for taking my call.
What's happening?
Is that Richmond Homes is refusing to, finally they decided to refuse to work on my house. I have some problems with the interior doors in my house. They don't.
AJ, how long have you had your home?
I had it since April of this year.
How many times have they been to your home for warranty issues?
They've been in my house 2 times for each different problems that I have with the house.
Did they fix anything? Did they fix anything?
No, they haven't been able to fix it.
Well, no. I'm asking this: since you've moved in, have you had any warranty issues that they fixed?
No.
So
they haven't fixed it. Yes. No.
So not one warranty issue in your home since you moved in has been fixed. Not one.
Not one. That's correct.
How many do you have?
I have a few. Some of them they haven't even come out to even get started.
You know, this is not the first warranty issue complaint we've had with Richmond. I have to believe it's because they're going crazy building.
Last week I had 2 new ones as well.
Really? Okay, so here's what I want to ask. How many problems? 5? I just need to know.
5 problems, easy.
Okay. And those problems, you're saying not only were they not fixed, some of them you haven't even had them looked at.
That's correct.
Which ones did you have looked at?
The noise in the pipes, banging on the piping.
That's hammering. What are they going to do about? Al, what can you do about pipe hammering?
Well, you have to find where it's hammering. It's
what does it cause from? It's
probably a
pressure.
Probably a pressure, but something's loose. You know, could be a ball and the ball valve's loose, a gate and the gate valve's loose.
But why does it hammer?
No expansion control. All houses have to have a thermal expansion on it, which will work both ways, both for the hot and the cold side.
Do they refuse to fix it, AJ?
No, they come out twice and they replace the valve at the pressure valve that comes into the house. They replace it twice and it's still hammering. Especially, it only happens when the washer works.
Maybe the strap broke.
Well, okay, they have, in every house they have 2 valves that'll turn off quickly. Your washing machine and your dishwasher. If there's no place for thermal expansion or hammer control, when those machines turn off and on, your water is going to shut off right away and it causes the hammer.
All right, hold on a second, all right, AJ, because we're going into our noon hour. We'll discuss this and more because it's something that needs to be discussed with Richmond. I don't really know what's going on with it, but I know they keep getting richer. Maybe they can spread some of that wealth around like their Democratic friends tell them. Hi, I'm Consumer Advocate.
I was a subcontractor for Richmond.
Is it a good idea?
Yes.
You said something like, maybe they're too busy. No, that's their MO. Do not go back and fix anything. And the people that, I'm serious, it's the way all these new homes are. I go into new homes all the time, Tom, all the time. And these people are fed up. It didn't matter if it's Richmond, it didn't matter if it's Menard, it doesn't matter. If they're building all these houses like crazy.
You know what you do? You hang out in front of their model homes and whatever their premier community is with a big sign that says what a bunch of assholes they are.
Exactly.
Not that I would ever do it.
Not that we suggest that.
I bet you they're over fixing stuff pretty quick when you start introducing yourself to everybody walking up.
That's preposterous. But that's exactly the way they work. They don't go back. As a problem, one of the biggest problems is they send back the person who messed it up in the first place. So they don't even know what they did wrong.
That's how it should be, right? It should be.
I've been in construction for 45 years, and I've seen it go from mediocre to really bad.
So I'm looking at under the carbon, and it looks like pore size of the carbon is the biggest difference.
The revelation came in a chain between the younger Trump and the friendly Rob Goldstone.
It all depends on how much float you want. You want a little float, you go with a little helium. You want a lot of float, you go with more helium.
Jr. said, I love it. Goldstone
so, when you have, I got a water softener at the cabin, it's pretty hard to run. Water softener, just for hot water. But isn't that hard on the septic system?
NBC News Radio.
I thought that sodium in there.
There's a lot of lies out there. It's not going to hurt anything.
Damn it, Al. I hate lying. No, I thought
look up
for the investigation that will be
water softeners for septic tanks. Okay. Water softener testing on septic tanks, and you'll find Water Quality Association tests.
And if it's not, that's fine. It's great. I mean, I don't use a lot of water up there.
If you have
I thought it was.
If you have a septic tank up there, you know, you just get a can of BioClean, you know, from.
I was told you don't put anything in those things.
And who told you that?
The septic tank guy. Well, the septic tank, it's a system that I got to get tested every year. It was put in there. The county makes me get tested. It's a bubble or whatever type of system.
BioClean. Whether you get it from Brothers or Plumline or
the National Archives in Washington, D.C. is honoring.
What did Plumline say when they went on his website?
What are you talking about?
Oh no, I'm talking about.
For his powerful illumination of the American story through his vast body of work.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to talk about it.
You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Water softener regeneration. The highest percolation rate. So it doesn't say, it doesn't go.
I can't think of the name of this damn recorder I used to use.
Recorder?
Yeah, for my
bacteria work.
I forgot with my new phone I never put my recording
Don't all agree.
I was just going to play you something back and I realized it
Water
wasn't
Quality
on.
Association would be the biggest test ever.
When I called up that apartment complex, it's got this message talking about how beautiful the new
big thing is I want to make sure
it's pretty funny.
Bacteria that extra sodium doesn't. And I don't use a ton of water.
There's something called concordium.
So I got a paper filter. What's the sediment that comes in? Is there a paper filter that comes in? You know, our little filter down there. Could I change it with that carbon?
But does your water smell?
Home of the asset manager mortgage to pay off your home in half the time
Something
without
smells
changing
on
one daily habits. Call 720-895-01.
No, it doesn't.
Take aim. CFPB.
It's total recall.
It does turn, like say, you get a lot of rain up there.
It does record calls. It works perfect. It's the only one I've ever used that works perfect. Flawless. I had one that you could.
Does it automatically record
everything unless I turn it off. Or you can set it just incoming, just outgoing.
I want to do it.
Beautiful.
You're concerned about that.
Oh yeah, you should work with yours. Apple's the only one that doesn't work with so well. Apple's.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier, as we've been doing for so many years. We have Pure Water Choices with us today in the house about pure water. and also soft water. But we talked about filtration and carbon filtration, paper media filtration, what they're good for, and we're going to talk about softening as well. I do want to take a couple people on the phones, and I don't know why, but Richmond Homes is having major warranty problems. But you know what? Whenever the economy gets good and building gets fast and furious, we've heard this before. We've heard a lot of complaints about Richmond.
Some of them are 2 years old.
Why is this happening?
Tom?
I've heard from some contractors off the record who say that they have a general policy to try to ignore as many problems as possible and hope they go away.
I would agree with that. As someone who's been in the business and a subcontractor for Richmond Homes, yes. They're not a good company to work for at all. They are the largest in America, and they got that way for doing certain things.
We're the largest home builder?
Yes. Yep.
Tom, I emailed Richmond Homes last week. They said they were going to get with these clients that had called our show, but one of the clients just called because he heard AJ's call and says, I've not heard a peep. So I'm going to email them again.
This sucks.
Maybe they can come on and comment why they suck so bad lately.
Because they're rich and they sell a lot of houses and they don't care. What if that was their answer? We don't care. We sell enough homes.
Hey, honesty would be nice.
And people buy our homes anyway. And we don't have to. I mean, really, you bought our home, AJ, too late, right? AJ, did you do any research on Richmond before you bought their home?
No, Tom, simply because they were in this area that I bought was the lowest I could afford, but I never knew they were so bad as far as they even offered me, in a sense, kick me out of the contract. They didn't want to deal with me because I was showing them too many defects with the construction of the house.
So they did say that they wanted you out of the contract. They were going to let you out of the contract.
Oh yeah, they'll be happy to see me go. I said no problem. We'll give you your money back. And
so why didn't you walk?
Because it's very expensive to buy somewhere else.
Okay, well, man, this is fun. So they said, listen, we don't want to deal with you, and you still went for it. See, I told you, Mark. They told him, we don't want to deal with you. And he says, oh, no, please, smack me upside the head again. I want to. Let me be your bitch. I want to. I mean, that's what you're saying. I mean, come on. You got to, at some point, we're going to help you, AJ. I guess we'll put you on a list. Maybe we should start a fan club here. Let's get a hold of people who are having Richmond problems.
There's a lot of them.
Okay.
Richmond's not the only one.
Maybe we start a construction defects thing.
Oh, imagine that.
If in fact we can find common problems, common theme. So I'm going to start a Richmond home list. Spread the word, AJ. Suzanne, would you put it on a shareable sheet for us for Richmond? And if we get, and let's go over our past few calls.
Should I get richmondsucks.com now? Or wait?
Yeah, I don't know. You could. If richmondhomesucks.com, unless somebody already got it. So here's the deal. We want to hear from you if you have a Richmond home problem. Let's see if it really is a problem. Or maybe it's just a few disgruntled people. 303-713-8255. Don, what's going on? Don? Okay, I don't have Don, so let's get rid of Don. We got a line open. That means Saba or Saba?
Yeah, that's me.
Saba, what's going on?
Tom, I called you a while back. It's about my wife, but we got into a wreck, and our lawyers, they're not helping us the right way. And I was...
Okay, what kind of a wreck were you in, Saba?
Well, I used to drive the church van, and I was going to go pick up the kids, and a guy pulled out in front of me, and I hit him 55 miles an hour, and my wife got real hurt.
You were driving a church van. And
yes, sir.
Whose fault was this accident?
The guy that pulled out in front of me.
Did he get a ticket?
Yes, he did.
And is there insurance? When was the accident?
Oh, like almost 3 years now.
Almost 2 years?
3.
Saba, it might be too late, bro. You might be too late.
Well, they're still trying to treat her for her knees. They can't fix her knees.
No, but did you ever get an attorney?
Yeah.
You got a personal... what personal injury attorney did you get?
Shankers, Banker and Shankers. Warren Johnson.
Banker and Shanker? It should be called Banker and Shanker, but I think it's Backus and Shanker.
Yeah.
Or Shanker and the Backus, I don't know, but it's Shank. Is it Shanker? That's really the name, right? Shanker.
Yeah. Bankus and Shanker.
Bankus.
Bankus.
No, listen. Backus and Shanker have had your case. Did they file a lawsuit?
Yeah, they did. But what troubles me, Tom, is that...
Well, what did they do with the lawsuit? What are they asking for?
Well, they settled my case on that one, but my wife...
Good. Did they make a good settlement for you?
Well, I'm not supposed to talk about my case, Tom.
Okay.
This is about really my wife's case.
Were you satisfied with your case?
No.
When you say you're not supposed to talk about it, did you sign something with Bake and Shake?
Yes.
Shake and Bake? You did?
They made me sign something. I can't talk about it. Not my case.
They made you sign something that you can't talk about your case?
Yes.
Because you were unhappy with it?
I'm not sure why, but they wouldn't, I can't read or write, so I don't know. But she wouldn't tell me why. But that's why I wanted to see you, because... You
can't read or write?
No.
Do you know what you signed?
Yeah. My wife's seen it.
His wife's case not settled, but if they're still treating her, that might be why.
Well, no, they're treating her, but they don't. Tom, if I could see you in person, I could tell you my story about this lady, what she's doing to us.
What lady? You mean that Shake and Bake, or are you talking about?
The lawyer lady, that Lauren Johnson. She's doing bad things to us.
What is she doing to you? You didn't sign anything that you couldn't talk about her, right?
No, I didn't sign nothing. I couldn't talk about her. I could talk about my wife.
Okay, so tell me what they're doing to you.
Well, first, they sent us to this mediation deal with my wife, and then she hired some guy to be he's an old judge, and he was telling my wife, I have doctor reports. What's the name of the doctor again? Mrs. Salmon is her doctor. He goes, I got doctor reports from Mrs. Salmon saying, Delfina, you're a liar. You're making this stuff up. You're not hurt.
I remember this.
So do I.
And then our lawyer says, well, sitting from here, you look just fine, Delfina.
I think Suzanne called over to them.
Did we ever call Shake and Bake on this?
Bankus and Shanker?
I talk to them people, and they won't talk to me.
I just don't remember this case. I'm sorry.
I remember this call. Or something.
They basically think,
didn't
one of them call your wife a liar?
Did you talk to us before, Saba?
They both did.
Yeah, they called his wife a liar, right?
Did you talk to us before?
Yes, I did talk to you before.
Absolutely.
Yes, I did. And but you know what, Tom? Look, my wife, we're from church. We got hurt for no fault of our own. They don't have to be hurting her again and telling her mean things. That's wrong.
Now, why do you think they would tell their own client mean things?
No, I think it was the other person. It wasn't his attorney.
But our attorney didn't stick in for us or nothing. She didn't say a word. She could say, hey, sir.
Well, this was a deposition. Wasn't this a deposition?
Yes, it was.
That's normally what happens. It's a deposition.
They do. They come after you.
Yeah.
Tom. Yeah, they do. But Tom, we're the ones that got hurt. We didn't even cause this accident. Why did he have a right to talk to my wife like that?
Because he's saying that.
He was telling me, Tom, oh, you're all mad about I'm doing this to your wife, aren't you? You're all mad. I said, you know what? I'm not mad, sir. I just don't like the way you're talking to my wife. I don't think it's right. You know, I think she should be treated with respect, Tom. And then also,
that's not Shake and Bake's problem, though. They shake and bake a lot of cases out of there. I mean, I don't know of them. You know, I don't know of them mistreating their clients. I mean,
well, Tom, her knees they're not finished fixing them. I
know, but you're getting medical help, right?
Yeah, they're done giving her medical help. Now they want to send her to one of their doctors to check her. They want to give her $50,000, and they said, you know what, your knees got to be fixed because her doctor says she's going to have surgery on her knees, but she's scared. She don't want to have surgery. She won't walk.
Well, she's going to have to take her doctor's advice.
I know, and then the doctor said then you're going to have surgery later on.
What is your main complaint right now? You're over the board. You're all over the board, Saba. For those people who say I never let people talk, I've let you talk yourself into a hole. What? Tell me what you want.
The main complaint is that she's not helping us. She won't give us no information. She won't answer our calls.
All right, so your attorney at Shake and Bake is not, they're not communicating with you.
No, not treating us right either. She's not treating us right. It's not right. It's not right for her to do that to us.
Okay. We need you to fill out a form, you and your wife, or your wife, for us to talk to that attorney.
Can we come up there?
Well,
I will come up there and sign anything you need.
Not you. Your wife needs to.
Yeah, me, my wife. Yeah, we'll come up there.
Do you need it? Do you need it in Spanish?
No, English would be fine.
Okay, you said you didn't read and write.
Yeah, I don't read and write, but she does.
She does. Okay.
Yeah. I've been talking for a long time.
Don't we need? We need something to get them to talk to us. Although, what?
I don't know what they're going to ask for. I mean, I don't think... I could have sworn we called over there at one point, though. And they said, we're working on it. But I maybe not. Maybe we reach out to that attorney at Shake and Bake and see what she says.
No, she won't talk to us.
Well, then let's ask her what she needs in order to talk to us.
That's what we can do. Okay, you need to fill out something for us, okay? And we're going to get it. We're going to get something together. But we can do it your way, Mark, and ask what she wants. And then she might say, well, I'm not going to talk to you at all, because a lot of them, if they're not doing a good job, they don't want us to, they don't want us to get involved, really.
Well, you sat down with that nicer, older attorney, the Bulldog, that one time.
What's his first name? Moore. What's his name?
Moore.
Brian the Bulldog.
Brian the Cadaver Moore. Brian the Cadaver Moore. That's right. He smelled like a mortuary. I think that to save time, he does pre-planning. I think they embalmed the first half, and they're going to do the second half in a few months. But and he's walking around with just a big mouth. But this guy, no, he's truly a vile, vile man. He takes cases and sits on them, then scares you and intimidates you with his bad breath, and hopes that the smell of him disgusts you so much you walk out of his office. And it's really weird. I mean, what a terrible man. Why'd you get me off on that tangent on the Cadaver?
I was just thinking of him.
But Shake and Bake, they run a factory, basically. Bank us and shank her. They run a factory when it comes to personal injury. It's literally a factory.
A lot of them do.
So I don't know what he was expecting us, if he was expecting a good sit down and back rub, but they're not going to get it. So what we need to do is call over there, find out what they need from us so they can talk to us. This man came to us for help. In fact, I need his wife to ask us for help before we even call. I'm not going to do it on his say-so. So make sure we talk to the wife.
I spoke to his wife yesterday, so she's definitely aware that he's looking for help.
Then let's find out from the attorney what we need. But we won't take no for an answer. For example, if their client wants us to talk to them, then they need to talk to us. Okay, that much I do know. That much I do know. If the client themselves requests it and gives them permission, and then we'll see what's going on at the factory over at Shake and Bake, the personal injury factory. Denver, the stem cell treatments I'm getting in Denver, I can't say enough about them. Now, I'm going to tell you that stem cell is, by insurance companies, it's considered experimental. But that's all. That's code for insurance companies don't want to pay. So you do have to go into this knowing that it's self-pay when it comes to getting stem cell treatments. That's why you shouldn't take it lightly, and don't go just anywhere. But I want you, before you do anything anywhere, to investigate it. And that's what I like about Stem Cell Institute of America. They have these meetings with no obligation. And it's a must-attend stem cell therapy educational seminar. You'll find solutions to pain and then find out about the cutting-edge therapy. Wherever you live, you're going to be near one, okay? Like Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, Fort Collins, and many other areas. You need to attend. It could be a life-changing experience. And I really want you to experience what I did. It's unbelievable relief after trying years of other things. Now, it's good for joint pain, arthritis, areas where joints have deteriorated, and it's always best to get in sooner than later, right? Stem cell has been known with the human growth factors to grow new tissue. That's basically what it does, and it mimics the tissue where it's at. So if it's in the knee, it can grow knee tissue or elbow tissue. This is not medically correct. I'm just telling you in layman's terms. It helps to grow back human tissue and tendons, and it's wonderful. StemCellTherapyForPain.com can get you some information if you want to go there. But call this number for the next educational seminar, and I urge you to attend. 855-262-4040. 855-262-4040.
This report is brought to you by Discover Student Loans.
Crash on the south part of town.
Clogging up the drive along that stretch. Westbound C470 approaching University. A crash there has the left lane blocked. It's already backed up to Quebec at this time, so watch out for delays if you got to travel on that.
Why does everyone talk as if this health care plan, that if you don't replace Obamacare, why do people assume, when they talk about the Republican health care plan, they say it's bad because this many people will be without insurance, or premiums are going to go up this much, or this is going to happen? Because with Obamacare, it's going to fail. I mean, I don't even understand. Why don't they compare it to Obamacare? They just say what's going to happen. Because what we should have, what would happen if Obamacare stays in place? I mean, they might have the great intentions, but there's no way it can go on. That's right.
You know, but even everything they're talking about is not going to matter anyhow. The shit they're going to end up passing, if they pass anything, is Obamacare. It's not going to matter. There's no difference. What do you mean? It's the same shit. There's no difference anymore.
Then why do they have one? Why do they even have an alternate plan? They keep Obamacare.
Because they said that's what they ran on.
Because for 7 years they've been saying it. The problem is a lot of these, when these certain states, like I think Kentucky's one, got all this extra Medicaid money now, you can't pull it away from the state. Yeah. You just can't do it.
Once you give them something.
Right. Yeah.
That's the big thing.
The Republicans don't want it gone. They'll get voted, they'll get their asses tossed out.
You think those people are getting it? Vote? Who do I have? These people that get free stuff. Old people.
Urge your senators to pursue
70
health
plus.
coverage for
That's Medicare. That's what I don't understand. That's a totally different thing.
Every time I look at my big, beautiful carpet from Paradigm, I thank them for recommending it. I went there and basically it was such a smooth, convenient experience. If you want to drop by, it's on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. Right there at the corner of Pecos and Evans, Paradigm Interiors, for all your floor covering needs and tile. And, you know, I say tile and floor coverings because tile can also be used for showers and backsplashes and walls. You know, they do such a wonderful job. You don't even have to go there. You can have a design consultant come to your home, and they can do everything there. Or you can do a combination. Have them come to your home first, then go into the store, or go to the store first, have them come to your home. At some point, they're going to take measurements and get a proposal to you. And that only takes a few days once you get in there. 303-630-9204. The people you want, because they have a big warehouse feel when it comes to pricing and value and selection, but such a small mom and pop kind of family feel when it comes to personalized attention to your job. Not only do you have a design consultant, but you have someone dedicated to supervising your job at home that will be there every day. 14 years in business. That's right, Flooring Denver since 2003, and you can trust them. I know Don and Matt, the owners. You will really like these guys and their entire team. Paradigm Interiors, 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204. And look for Paradigm Interiors on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Hi, Pat Miller, Gabby Gourmet. Hope you'll join me every Saturday from 1 to 2 as we talk restaurants with chefs, owners, wine folks, and more. Remember to join.
that stuff now. Is it something we need to wait and get all the little things worked out, or is it ready to go?
No, I've got a couple more things, but it's pretty much ready. Did you know Trump Jr. actually he released a chain of emails offering high-level and sensitive information.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. And you're going to do the Excel, Tom, so I can put the thing up. Just remember that he did that free roof. His room, mind yet?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do it. I was going to do a whole thing about it. I
Oh,
wasn't going to do it today. I wanted to
have
have
it.
Jay
I put it
on.
on.
I'm sorry. Hi, Tom Martino.
Pure Water Solution, or Pure Water Choices in the house. Al Vandenhoeven. I'm sorry, Al. PureWaterChoices.com is his website. We have a question here from David, something I wanted to talk about anyway. David, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have a water softener, and I was wondering what on that point of use you were talking about that might eliminate the salt taste.
Now, why do you have a softener, by the way?
Oh, I live in Commerce City and have real hard water.
Okay. And did you notice a difference when it comes to washing and laundry and all that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I kind of like the feel of hard water, but I also like a little bit of softness. It's weird. Can you control the amount of softness you get in a softener?
Yes, you can. You get the right backwashing valve on top, yes.
So you can control your hardness?
Yes.
Well, cool. And David wanted to know...
First of all, you shouldn't have any salt in the water. You shouldn't taste salt at all. So I don't know the brand name of your system, but it should not be...
It's a Rain Soft. It was in the house when I bought it.
Why does he taste salt?
It's not backwashing enough. They use salt to regenerate the resin beads, but when it regenerates, then it flushes all that salt water down the drain.
Exactly.
So there should be no salt water left in the system at all.
Okay, so I'm not regenerating often enough, or not using enough salt to regenerate?
No, it's not backwashing long enough when it does regenerate.
Oh.
You know, so that's, I don't know if that could be adjusted with RainSoft. RainSoft's a proprietary system. I can't work on them, only they can. Sorry.
I see. But I should not have the salt taste in if it's regenerating properly.
Yeah. No, but you can, but to answer your question, you can have a point-of-use water filter to get rid of it.
Maybe. Sodium in water is the hardest thing to remove.
It is.
Period. It's just really, really hard.
That's why you have a whole reverse osmosis process, right?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, and RO
I never thought of that. Yeah.
An RO would remove the sodium, salt taste, but the systems I sell, my point of use, will not. The NanoCeram will not remove the salt.
Mm-hmm. And reverse ROs, they dispose of a lot of water.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they consume a lot of water. Basically, if rule of thumb, for every gallon they give you, they're going to put 3 gallons down the drain. And the water, most of the time, is acidic. And, and so it has its problems, but it's pretty clean water, though. So it'll take the sodium out.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I need to have my system looked at and calibrated or adjusted or replaced.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, sir.
All right. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. You know, I think that basically Fox 31 Auto just basically, they listen to our show to get their story ideas, don't they, Suzanne? Does Fox, they actually listen to our show to get story ideas?
That's possible, Tom.
So here's another one that shows up. They call it their own. Did they do anything for the guy?
No, and they got the same response we did.
Yeah. And so what did they do about it? They just tell stories about woe.
Hey, they got that heavy-set woman a shower, though.
Yeah, one of their advertisers sells her an overpriced tub and rips her off. They do the story without mentioning their overpriced advertiser. And then their fix was to get her to a motel room so she could have a shower. And now they're doing one on Gary. Wasn't Gary the gentleman that called? Did we have that in the works?
He had the prostate cancer in up in Loveland. We had a Loveland deputy.
Yep, go up there. We looked at the house.
Take pictures and stuff, and the deputy, I don't know if you know this, Tom, while you were gone, our deputy went and confronted the, I think it's called window outlet or something like that, window and siding outlet in Loveland. They said he's on our list. We're going to get him made right. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, I talked to him as well. It sounds like
they said
come through.
They said they're going to get it done?
Yes. They acknowledge there's lots of problems. They had a crappy installer.
They're calling it LARC Bunting Construction. Maybe this is a different one, or
I
not?
think that's a different one then.
Suzanne, how do you know it's the one we handled? This says Lark Bunting Construction, based in Fort Morgan. Yeah.
Did I send you? Could I have sent you the wrong link?
You said Gary doesn't want to do doesn't know what to do after paying a contractor more than $10,000 to add stucco.
No, that's a different guy. That's stucco too. That's a whole different guy.
Suzanne, this is different. That other one was siding. She said, Suzanne says it was one of our guys that we were helping.
Well, my deputy just emailed me saying he was on the news last night. I thought I had the right story, Tom, because it said cancer patient, and I knew he's a patient. My bad. I'll have to look again.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. So, 303-713-8255. So about water softeners, did we get to David? Did we answer his question? He was the one about the salt, right? Or is that a new one? No, that's the one about the salt.
Richmond Homes. RichmondHomesSuck.com. You ready for this?
Yeah.
$12,000.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Why?
They must, I don't know. There must be other people out there that think they suck right now. I mean, 12 grand is the price of it.
No, someone's sitting on it.
Well, no, I can grab it right now from GoDaddy for $12,000.
From GoDaddy or from someone else?
From GoDaddy.
How does that, why do they put a price?
Because someone else probably owns it, but they take care of it for them. They put up how much they want for it. They probably make a commission. But that's amazing.
Well, I just got something amazing. Just got confirmation.
Yeah? What is it?
It's HomeAdvisorProblems.com.
Oh, man, I don't know if we can handle that kind of traffic on our server.
Well, we're going to do it. I'm going to light up a site called HomeAdvisorProblems.com and see how their patented algorithm works on that.
Hey, watch it. We're going to get another letter.
I know. They have patented algorithms. Did you know that?
How dare I say they create leads when it's all the patented algorithms?
Yeah, they don't create leads. They create patented algorithms that magically select people and then put them together with them. Yes, magical. Don, with your Home Depot issue, what's going on with Home Depot?
Actually, this is Mike.
Oh, Mike, okay. I guess Don is just never going to get on. Oh, it's my fault. I picked up the wrong one. Go ahead, Mike. Let's talk about your tree service.
Thank you. No, two questions.
Yes.
Or comments, actually. I took a walk through a Richmond home model at Mineral and Broadway, one of their row houses, and I was appalled at the quality of work. It was unbelievable. You could see right through the paint to the drywall tape. They were using 1x3 pressed wood for baseboards.
You know, that surprises me because I'm going to say something. Even though we get a lot of complaints about them and not following up on warranty work, usually their craftsmanship and design, it used to look pretty good. But you're telling me it's not?
Oh my God, no, they're using fake vinyl for tile now. It looks really rich and expensive, but the materials are as cheap as you can get. I mean, not real products at all. And, I mean, you could literally see right through the paint, and I just couldn't believe it. This is their model, and it's a row house, and they want like $415,000 for something as wide as a two-car garage, and that's about 40 foot deep, and it's just 4 stories tall. And if you go through it and you just look at all the workmanship, you just would not believe it is terrible, and it's their model.
You know, we're in for another recession. We have such a giant fake real estate bubble right now. Oh my God, and 4% unemployment. We have all the exact conditions that sparked the last recession. Now remember, when all the experts come on in a few years saying that it's here and nobody saw it coming, I want people to remember this day. I want you to remember it because it is coming.
Yeah.
You know, the trick is to have a ton of cash on hand too when it happens, man.
So tell me about what else did you want to talk about?
Statin drugs. I've heard you talk, but I've always missed the full conversation. I would like you to explain cholesterol and statin drugs and the pros and cons.
Yeah, well, I'll do that in a second, and it's not that interesting, so I'll make it really quick, but I will. And I say it's not that interesting for people that don't have it. Hold on one sec. I want to talk to Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. Brent, let's talk about the custom term mortgage. I always say when you go to Ideal for your Ideal home loan, you get more than just a loan. You get credit optimization so they can tweak your credit to get you better pricing. Even though you're approved, they go a step further. And then you have the interest rate guarantee. I love that because over the next 2 years, if you buy or refinance and rates go down, they'll do it free of charge for you again. Let's talk about the custom term.
Well, Tom, you know, there's so many people who have tried to take advantage of interest rates, and they don't want to start over in a new home loan because they don't want to go backwards. So if you're someone who's 6 years into your current mortgage, what you really need is a 24-year term loan. You can't afford to go to a 20. You don't want to go back to a 30, and that's really where our custom term mortgage comes in. This helps consumers take advantage of lower interest rates and lower payments while still paying their house off as scheduled originally.
And that is what I like, choice. And that's what you get with Ideal Home Loans for your Ideal Home Loan. 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, or idealhomeloans.com. Okay, and we talk about real estate. We talked about Richmond Homes. You know, there is a big real estate thing going, and you will love him. You will love his team. Whether you're buying or selling, you won't do better. And you can hold my feet to the fire on that one, and you come back and you let me know if you didn't get the greatest experience. But you have nothing to lose because he'll let you out of the contract if you're not happy. He wants to earn your trust and your business every day. 303-920-1622. FrankDurantHomes.com.
This report is brought to you by Discover Student Loans.
Let's start off with the good news. That earlier wreck on the westbound side of C-470 approaching University.
You don't like Richmond, I take it.
No, not at all. Not a bit. You know, when they try and screw subcontractors out of, you know, a couple $100, $500, whatever.
We had a guy call in that they took for $30,000.
No, but that's how they make their money.
They sold their debt. They sold their accounts receivable, which Richmond was one of. And in the paper they signed, being a subcontractor, they say they will not sell that accounts receivable. And they used that as an out not to pay them. I don't know how it ended up, but it was a nasty move.
Like I said, I go to a lot of houses, a lot of new houses, and they're all the same. Everyone's complaining. Everybody.
But it's not the contractors there? The subs are not.
Well, and the guy over the project is.
Sure, you bet. But real quick, I'll try and sum it up. The general contractor has the money. He hires the subs to work for him. Absolutely. The only way the general contractor makes money is by ripping off the subs. So the subcontractor then has to do the
well, I don't know about that because they're getting so much for these homes now. It's ungodly.
But the subcontractors aren't. I'm one of them. I quit even bidding new work. You cannot make any money. You just cannot do it. I'm in direct competition with the general contractor. So how does that work?
What do you mean?
All subcontractors are in direct competition with the general contractor because he has all the money. The only way the general contractor makes money is by paying as little as possible to the subs.
Well,
so
if he has a budget, but some do cost plus.
So they buy it. They hire the cheapest subs absolutely possible.
Well, yeah, if they have a budget they have to hit, and they get to keep the leftover. You're right.
The sub has to cut corners and make a living.
No, you're right.
And so he doesn't want to go back and warranty anything, and the whole thing's just a disastrous mess.
Is a contractor a third party, or does he work for Richmond Homes?
The most trusted name in the industry.
So it is Richmond Homes. He is
So the contractor is Richmond Homes.
He hires an on-site contractor.
I would say down the road,
superintendent
station. Unless, like you say, there's such a need out there.
Isn't that why they were doing
Team.com. Plumline Services. You hear me talk about Plumline. You know, Plumline is a straight line. It was first used in the Bible. To go straight, and Plumline Services will go straight to the problem and help you when it comes to any of your home services. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains. And right now, they have a wonderful special on electrical. They will find and fix any electrical problem for $149 or it's free. Because in the rare circumstances where something is really major, they'll give you a written report and it'll be a free call and at least you'll know what it is. But for $149, That includes labor and parts. They can fix about 85% of all electrical problems. So that's what that is. $149 fine, fix, or free. They also have 93 or free when it comes to drains. If they can't get your drain unclogged, you don't pay a dime. But they will give you a full written report again, and you'll know what's wrong. And if you do need drain work, they'll do it. And they have a direct drain division, so you're not paying some subcontractor like most of these plumbers do. They have their own division. So 93 are free with your drains, $149 to find, fix, or free any electrical problem, and then they have half off their AC with the purchase of a new furnace. You can call for details. And don't forget the all-important free second opinion on anything that you have that's major, on a panel, a water heater, a furnace, AC, drains. Free second opinion, not even a call charge. Give them a call. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086.
Talking about the news that's happening as it's happening. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. We love doing what we do because we help so many people. And Don, I'm so sorry you had to wait on and off, on and off. What's happening with Home Depot?
Well, I think you need to light a fire underneath them because I haven't had any success.
Let's talk about the original problem.
I had to get the soffits on my house replaced. It had some certainty soffits that were starting to crack, so they needed to be replaced, but that wasn't Home Depot's problem. So needed to get that done last summer, and had them come out and take measurements, and I signed.
Now, why did you call Home Depot for soffits?
I think it was just some of the advertising, and I'd done some business with them before in the past.
But you know you're not doing business with Home Depot when you have stuff done, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You're doing business with a contractor list they have that agreed to basically do it at the lowest price they could possibly do it, and give Home Depot some of the gravy. But that's okay. So what happened?
Well, signed a contract last August.
And did you sign it with Home Depot?
Yes.
Good. And so you never got your soffits done?
That's correct. Hadn't been done, and I've just been...
was anything even started on your soffits?
No.
How much did you pay?
I put down about $1,600 and some change for a down payment.
Will they give your money back?
I suppose they could, but I still won't have my soffits done.
Okay, that would be a good thing, because I would recommend that you get your money back and we get you hooked up with somebody good. And I mean that sincerely. I mean, we could light a fire, but why? I think you have every right to ask for a refund. How did you pay them?
Just by credit card.
I would call them and ask first if they'll just stop it, and then you'll start over. Really, I'm serious. Or you can go through with it. And if you want to go through with it, we'd be happy to call them. Suzanne, have we ever developed a contact at Home Depot?
Oh, I have a great angel there.
Good. If you have someone, then let's give him a chance. If he wants to stay there and he's already paid, Don, what I'd like to do is if you want, give it your choice, okay? And if you want to continue, Suzanne says she has someone there, an angel we call them, inside the companies, and we'll see what we can do for you. All right? What do you think, Al? You're a contractor. You're in the business. You've been around for years. What do you think about the Home Depot model?
Oh,
I mean, what do you think about it? I mean, I think Home Depot's a great store, personally. For supplies.
They've done well.
I think it's a great store. I like it.
I've been at this for 45 years.
Yeah.
I've seen...
Do you like it?
I've seen the quality of everything go down the tubes.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about their good store. Don't you think they have selection?
They should not be in the contracting business, period.
I'm not talking about that part of it, but as a store, I'm glad they're there. I'm happy they're there.
Yes.
I mean, there were many times I couldn't find stuff except there.
Yeah.
But now, as far as getting into the referral contracting, I don't like it.
No, absolutely not. No.
Just because they supply that stuff doesn't mean they know who should work on it.
Exactly.
Do they do any clearing at all? I don't think they... Do they have any... quality standards? Mark, do you know? How do they pick these guys to work for them?
I don't know.
I was going to be a subcontractor for them once, and when I found out how they operate and how they paid, it's like, no, I don't think so.
How does it work?
Well, as a plumber, I could sign up to get their work. You know, they would give water heaters to me, whatever.
Right.
I would go there, pick out a water heater, or pick out the one the guy bought. It has to be that one. And then I would go install it, and they would pay me. But if I wanted to make any money at all, I'd have to upcharge the homeowner, find things that were wrong, start doing things that...
Well, did they tell you that to upsell?
No. But I know what it takes to make a living in the business. So they do not pay enough for anybody to make a living in the business.
So they pay pennies to install stuff in the building.
Yes. And then I cannot...
But that's good for the consumer, isn't it? Or does the consumer pay more and you just get paid less?
Well...
Is it like, for example...
Let's take water heaters, for instance. Okay. Yeah. So if I sell a 10-year Bradford White water heater, it's a full 10-year warranty. If they sell a 10-year GE heater, it's prorated. So it's a totally different warranty. So
why?
Well, that's because what they choose to do. That's why they can sell water heaters so cheap, is because they don't have a warranty. It's a prorated warranty. If it's a 10 years, at 9 years, you're only getting 10%.
Yeah, but if it's a rental unit or something, I might want the down and dirty, cheap stuff, you know.
And people do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I understand. Let's talk to Star about Richmond Homes. Go ahead, Star.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. What's happening?
Well, I guess it's probably been 10, 12 years now, but I did a ton of work for Richmond American and pretty much all the builders in California. And Richmond American was pretty much on top of anything. Even if the homeowner was real anal about something, they jumped right in there and took care of it. So I'm just thinking maybe some of these issues that are coming up now are maybe different areas. Maybe some of the contractors in different areas aren't doing their doing the things right that they're supposed to. So
you like the company?
Yeah, they were great. I did a lot of work for Richmond.
What did you do?
I was an excavating contractor.
Okay, so they paid well, they worked well, they were organized. You don't have any complaints. Well, that's good to know.
How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Oh, as I said, it was probably 10, maybe 12 years ago. I don't know if it's
they're basically the same crowd.
Yeah. You know, different people, different strokes. And I do know that Colorado has some really strange regulations as far as getting your licensing going.
What do you mean?
I've got my equipment, I've got my insurance, I've got everything ready to go, and they're telling me I need a concrete license to do excavating.
You know, I was told that before. Wait a minute. I had an argument with somebody and said that's not true. Who was I arguing? I was arguing with somebody, and they told me that, was it you? No, you didn't call before, did you?
No.
Somebody called and said, they either called or it was off the air, and said, in order to get this license for excavating, I must have a concrete license. And I said,
that was a couple weeks ago.
I said, it makes no sense. Why would you need that?
It really makes no sense, because, you know, I want to do trenching for plumbers.
I know.
I'll tell you why. I kind of looked into it. I think I know. You're talking about Denver. I think I know why.
Why?
Because if you do work for the city, they want to make sure you can put the cement back. They want to make sure you can fix whatever you dug up.
That's a what do they call it? Right away. That's a right away license.
Okay. Here's what I want to know, though, Star.
Yes.
What is a concrete license? What is it?
Well, concrete, it is.
But what do you have to do? What do you have to do to get it?
Well, to get it, you have to have somebody write a letter saying that Tom Martino knows how to tie steel, set forms, pour concrete. He's been working for us for the last 2.5 to 3 years, and you get a license. No test, no nothing.
Okay, but you just have to have that apprenticeship and experience. Thank you, Star. Man, that sounds weird to me that they grouped those together.
There's like 5 things you have to have. That was just one of them. I think it was a group of things. I found it on their website.
As an excavator.
As an excavator, and I still think it comes down to, if you dig up their street, they want to make sure it's put back right.
I don't know, but for every excavator in the world, they put that on them, even not the ones doing commercial.
I don't know.
It just doesn't sound right. But anyway, let's talk about getting your car running right. The person I take my car to, Pro Auto Care, Alaramas. What I love about Pro Auto Care is the skill combined with ethics. You know, you need this. You want it. And then the value. Look, our people that we have on the referral list, they're great people. They're never going to be the cheapest. They're never going to be the most expensive. You shop for the skill, convenience, knowledge, honesty, all of that. And he has great specials, including The Works, a synthetic blend with a tire rotation. Listen to this. For new customers only, $14.95. Tell him Tom told you. That's an oil change, synthetic blend, tire rotation, and a filter for $14.95. New customers only. Both locations, near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. 303 Pro Auto. And check out the website, 303proauto.com, and click on my face or my name, and it'll show you some listener specials like the one you just heard. Some are for new customers only, like today's, and some are for anyone. 303 Pro Auto.
A few slow spots in the highway drive in the metro area. Earlier wreck, C470 westbound approaching University. The crash was cleared.
They have a new ceremony where women pledge lifelong virginity and become brides of Christ. That's nuns. No, it's different than nuns. They brought it back from the 12th century, before there was convents.
225 stop and go in that typical spot between Parker and I-20.
Well, here it says what they're different. They're, let me see here. Well, they don't live in them.
Oh, okay, so they're just regular people, they just did the pledge.
Yeah, they're mystically betrothed to Christ. Unlike nuns who take a vow of virginity before joining.
Every purchase, every day, when you use your Lowe's business credit account.
Yeah, they live a normal life.
Boy, this Aaron Judge, you see that?
U.S. only.
Are you suffering from hearing loss? Are you? No.
Hey, listen. Hearing loss is something, though, that when you're in a family situation, that's what you do hear. People yelling like that. It's terrible. If you know someone suffering from hearing loss, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Yeah, hearing loss. Now, they do have tinnitus treatment, including the newest, Desyncra. Wonderful permanent solution if your tinnitus is in that range. And they can test you for that. They let you try it out to see if it's right for you. In fact, they let you try out hearing aids. They're the only people I know that do such a wonderful, no-obligation test drive. And I know Dr. Patty personally. And Lisa, Dr. Lisa. They're great people. You will love the atmosphere, the skill, and the whole thing, all of their products. They have really quality products, like the Widex hearing aids. That's what I have. Love them. Helpforringing.com is the website, but remember, it's both for tinnitus and hearing loss, or both. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Colorado
Hey,
Tinnitus.
it's Ross Kaminsky, and I'm here with Donna, another just extraordinarily happy client of Advanced Tax Solutions. You had health issues for a while, and what did that lead to for you and taxes?
I did not file my taxes for many years, and I was becoming frightened that the IRS was going to find me, so I called Advanced Tax Solutions.
You were thinking about your kids when you went ahead with it.
I had heard a commercial, and I didn't want them to have to deal with what the gentleman on the commercial had talked about, because his mother had filed for taxes for years and years.
And so how did Advanced Tax Solutions help you get back on track?
Well, I gathered up all my paperwork, had the energy to call and make an appointment, and Frank walked me through the process.
And since then, you stay on track, you feel great, there's one less thing to worry about.
He's 25 years old and a rookie. I don't know much on baseball and stuff. This guy's got a freaking 30 home runs as a rookie before the All-Star break.
303-753-6040 or online at advancedtaxsolutions.com.
Won't let me talk about
all for free. I'm always with you, right in your pocket. I know that's weird, but you know what?
Hey, was your house Richmond?
30K now with you wherever you go, and never miss the Michael Brown Show. iHeartRadio keeps you connected.
There's a KB community down in between Parker and Franktown, in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. Ranch homes, the smallest ones in there, like 1,500 square foot ranch. Literally jump from rooftop to rooftop, no problem.
I think it is
Really? 400
security. And you're general security that we vet anybody.
They're so screwed.
I guess people don't like that.
Later today,
The yards are
on Denver's Talk Station.
You can share the grapes with Paul, you know. you scan it through the window.
You could easily.
Well, that's all old houses were. You look at the downtown Denver.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Martino with our guest, Al from Pure Water Choices. When he's not here, you can see him at the referral list, referrallist.com. Also, his website is purewaterchoices.com. 720-219-7818. And if you have any questions, we have time. 303-713-TALK. Eric, what is your comment on homes?
Okay, Tom. So, first off, if the market crashes or the bubble bursts in the next year, actually you can pay me, because I've been saying since December that the housing market was way overpriced and you've got another bubble coming.
But you have to have other factors.
I just base it on what I see in the pricing in general.
Yeah, housing alone wouldn't do it. But when you have the unemployment rate where it is at 4%, people think unemployment rate being low is good. It is good, but it's not good, because then you have to start competing for workers paying a little more, and then what happens is a tiny cycle where, for a temporary basis, the people who have to pay more are going to ask more for their consumer goods, and you have a tiny ripple or a delay, which then pauses things, and then you have people in the middle of the economy saying, wait a minute, I felt a pause, perhaps we shouldn't grow so strong or so fast, and they slow down a bit, and then it becomes like a traffic jam where a small little tiny fender bender turns into a major traffic jam because that happens, and then people get worried and they hold back from major purchases, saying, you know, let's just hold off a little, and then it gets worse, and then unemployment starts growing because people are being laid off, and the opposite happens. But anyway, continue your thought. You were talking about this.
Model homes. The other thing on the model homes, it's not just Richmond that sucks in terms of the quality. Every one of them. My wife and I just on a lark a few months ago. We're out at the Candelaria build out that's going on out by the old Rocky Flats, and I walked into a house. It was about $350,000. Stepped down onto the first step of the landing, and I felt the whole floor give. And I turned around and I looked at the sales lady and I said, you've got to be joking me, right? And she goes, what? And I told her, and she came over and she stepped on. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe that. And when we went farther down, looking at different things in the house, every time you turned around, you would find various things that were wrong.
You know what? It's not uncommon, Eric. And try to find a square wall. Try to find one. I dare you. Bring a square one time. Try to find a square corner or wall. Hey, Brett.
Yes.
What's your question?
Hey, Tom, I'm wondering about a purification system for just a water filtration system for a well up in the Adams County area. It seems to be kind of like soda water, a little bit of film left on everything. Is there a certain
What's that caused by?
System?
Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Don't ever try and treat a well unless you have a well test done by a reputable company. And I'm not talking University of Colorado. Look online, find some companies. You buy a kit, they'll send it to you.
And then what? Then you treat what you need to treat.
Exactly. Don't try throwing money at it. Don't throw money at it.
Okay, and in general, is well water cleaner than city water?
Yes.
Now, Brett,
well, that depends. I mean, where he's at, it could be really bad.
But you got to test.
You have to test it. I've had some with uranium, E. coli, hardness, radon, you name it. So, yeah.
And Brett, anything else?
No, that's the main thing. I didn't know if there was a simpler system.
Do you test? Do you do any testing or any general testing?
I do
for people?
some simple tests. Otherwise,
like for his well, would you? That kind of, no,
I would test hardness and pH, and that's about it.
All right. By the way, we talked about softening and said we were going to talk on how it differs from purification. And we don't have a lot of time, but basically, it just takes the minerals out of the water?
Yes.
Okay.
Water softeners are an investment and a luxury, and everything else is for your health.
And it's for feeling and for plumbing?
Yes.
Okay.
It protects your investment.
We are simply out of time, folks. Again, purewaterchoices.com. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. You can find me at referrallist.com and troubleshooter.com. Don't forget Facebook and YouTube every single day.
Are you taking Viagra for ED?
Every day. I got to do it. I usually always bring it up when a picture goes up, you know what I mean?
That's a $40 per dose.
What are we going to talk about tomorrow?
So you have all about
bathrooms
bathrooms and all
takes
construction.
5 seconds here. I got to just do a little hello tomorrow, whatever. Let's see. Insurance. You know, all about bathrooms again?
Yeah.
They've been in for a while.
And all construction, new referrals.
No, I don't think they're all about bathrooms.
But all construction is also there.
I don't think they've been in for 6 weeks.
But